Derrick Henry, rushing leader, fucking hardware extraordinaire is on our bus today. It's
Fashion icon.
fashion icon.
Let's lock in. Let's lock in. Lock
Little
in.
shaken.
I've missed the hell out of you.
I miss you guys too.
My favorite suit was that you wore.
Oh.
I think I know.
The all snakeskin.
The all snakeskin. Yeah.
Oh,
The London
shit.
theme suit you did. That was
Yes.
fire. The pictures, the whole nine. Since I got here,
Yeah.
we're on the middle logo, and we actually
pretty
did
sure-
it when we played them in the playoffs last year.
How much did Bama pay you?
They paid me in rings, baby. In my third year, I was like, this is the year I'm starting. I took home the Heisman, took home the Dope Walker,
What'd the bank account look
took
like?
home the Walter Camp.
What'd the bank account look
took home-
like?
Probably the most busts in the NFL.
Hey, I
Any-
fucking hate
of
Alabama.
any- Who's the greatest football player of all time?
That's hard.
How much you think you spend on your body a year?
I can't even. I spend a lot.
I can't wait for Josh to come on the bus because I think you should be here too. Just sit in the back and just stare at him.
When you walked over there and gave him the little,
Yeah.
why did you go over there?
I did that because of you.
We're on the way.
Did you bring the hardware?
No,
You didn't bring the hardware?
I didn't tell me to bring anything.
Listen, you might have won Offensive Player of the Year, but that is strike one.
Dude, if
You did not tell me to bring no hardware.
I did.
I thought if I won Offensive Player of the Year, I would probably just be walking around with it.
Yeah, you had it literally when was it? A couple nights ago.
I still have it, but you didn't tell me to bring it.
Well, yeah, obviously once you have it, you have it. Like you have the Heisman still,
I'm
right?
I'm saying it was literally on you like last night. Like
Was it
he
last
just
night?
got in. Was it last night?
It was
Or 2 nights ago?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Hey, go ahead and put that mic up to you. Listen,
Yeah,
I
we
would
need-
have brought it too because I had them. Should tell me to bring it, man.
I am excited to see you.
Oh yeah, let's do
God.
this again.
Derrick Henry's here, ladies and gentlemen. Can you just get one of these? Derrick Henry,
Brought to you by
2,000
Barstool
yards.
Sports.
Oh yeah.
5th best rushing season of
I don't need
anybody
these
ever.
on, right?
No.
You don't need to do it. You do
All
whatever you
right.
want.
All right.
Hey, you might need to take those chains off though, because it messes with the mic, and it has like a static thing. So you might need to take them off.
Is that real?
Goddamn, Will. I tell you
I'm about
what.
to say, I know you lying.
I'm gullible.
Will.
I have a problem. I have a serious problem.
You all right?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Little shaken.
Let's
Lock
start
in.
out.
Let's lock in. Lock
Little
in.
shaken.
Oh, I bet you are. Will's had a rough time. When I got in the bus, I was giving Will hell about being all over Twitter, but not hanging out with his friends. But
For one friend,
we'll
one friend.
just skim over that. Let's start. I've missed the hell out of you. It's
I
been
miss
a
you
while.
guys too, man. I miss you guys too.
We had a nice argument this morning.
A very nice argument.
Oh, what would you?
We'll get-
Are we going in detail right now?
We shouldn't go into detail right now.
first
We gotta
off-
wait. Let's wait.
Not right now.
This episode is brought to you by Barstool Sports.
Busting with the
That
boys.
episode is Bussin' with the Boys. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, get the merch, bussinwiththeboys.com. You can go to Barstool/Bussin', right?
Barstoolsports.com/store.
/store, and then you can find us in there. We're everywhere. All right. Buy the merch, subscribe, rate 5 stars. Derrick Henry, rushing leader, fucking hardware extraordinaire is on our bus today. It's an absolute beauty.
Fashion icon.
Fashion icon. Only guy in the world to put a highlighter yellow suit on, and it looks amazing.
I dug the suit.
I liked it. Yeah.
I thought it was fire.
Well, is that your favorite suit you've ever worn, or have you worn another suit that you're like, all right, this is better?
I don't know. I've had some pretty good ones, but that was just different, just because I haven't seen nobody wear that color
Yeah.
and make it all. Because I had from the shoes, the whole thing match. Shout out to Alba Legacy. No free shout outs, but
No free shout outs,
There
but
you go, no free
Alba,
shout out.
she the one did it for me. She made it all happen. It kind of felt like a Nike dry fit suit
really?
because it was Florida, so she didn't want me to be hot, but it was.
So do you
all
have
laid
a
out.
stylist, or you pick a lot of your stuff out?
Is it your
Um,
vision? Does it start with you, or you kind of just let them do their thing?
Well, it's kind of like so and so. Like she sends me ideas that she has, and then we just go back and forth on if I like them and I just want to make some changes. But sometimes I come up with ideas, and sometimes she come up with ideas. But it always works. That's actually Louis Vuitton on that one, so that was already.
You're super
that was
into
already-
fashion. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be week 17, Wednesday morning. We have an 8 a.m. meeting, and you'll walk in and you'll be head to toe dressed up.
Trip
It's pretty
down.
impressive.
During the
Smelling
season, I have
good.
3 outfits. You
Yeah.
know, gym shorts, t-shirt, hoodies, sweatpants.
He came in one time. He had like they look like SpongeBob Air Force Ones or something like that, like the furry like yellow ones, and then you had a full like not a yellow suit, but like a yellow like jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Smelling,
Yeah.
he's always smelling good. No pause.
Yeah.
But he's just always comes, and it's like early in the morning. Like
He always smells good and he always comes.
How-
Those are the-
yeah.
are the-
how
no
early do you
pause.
wake up to prep for the day and pick out your
Do you pick it
your
out
fit?
at night?
People
Or-
always ask me if I pick out my stuff at night. I really just wake up and I go in my closet and I'd be like, just look and see what
Kind of take a few minutes.
what I want to wear. Then I make a decision.
Do
And we
you
go from there?
do you ever put something on, check it out, and like just during a weekday and be like, this
That's
ain't
not
it, this ain't it, and then go back and take off clothes and be like, I'll wear this like tomorrow or something.
100%.
I admit I definitely have done
I love
I
that.
put
I
the
love that.
phone in the morning time like, nah.
When
I'm
the-
not rocking with this.
when
Not
the
rocking with
when the
this at
season
all.
first started, Derek like walked in. He power walks up to me
Yeah.
and he hands me this shoebox and he just leans into me and goes, "Don't." Hey, he said, "What'd you say?" He's like, "Don't say I never did nothing for you." And he kind of like walks away. I'm like, "God, all right." And I start to open it up, like hot, like what are those? Those are off whites.
No, give him the fear of gods.
Fear of Gods, highlighter orange, like
Fear
high tops. I put him-
Warm that day I gave him to him. Haven't seen him on this week since.
well, I put him on that day.
I mean,
I went to
He
meetings.
wore him
and
at
I
his-
was like, "I
he
see
wore him
you."
at his
He probably
house
I wore
sees
him
you
for
with
2
them.
hours. I never seen him post or put him on.
Yeah,
ever
they're
since.
in my basement right now. I stare at them
I
all the
mean,
time.
You
I
wore him
them.
one time. You brought him out. You're like, Derek got me these, and then you walked around the basement.
Yeah, I was going to
with
pick
it.
something up. We had like a game night thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wore him. I want him to go pick up some Coco's ice cream.
I
You
looked
ever
out for
shout
the
out
boy,
Coco's?
you know,
You do.
the GOAT.
He's hey, I think we're approaching GOAT status with you.
Not yet.
2,000 yards,
Not yet.
1,600, 1650.
Hey, before,
I have it on the jersey you gave me. 1645 last year.
1540.
1540.
who's
1540.
counting?
And then
Before we move on, I want to say what I thought your favorite suit, what my favorite suit was that you wore.
oh,
I think I know.
What
I
is
think
it?
I know. It was
Because
the-
I going out of my way a couple times to come up. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
Really?
know.
yeah. I'm like, hey man, this shit is
do you
fire.
have do you have
It's
you
the
have
one that you
multiples?
put BDE
Yeah.
on Twitter.
The all snake skin.
All snakes again. Yeah,
like
the black
Hey,
head,
pull that
head
up,
to
I wanna
toe.
see
Hey, he had the mask. He had the shoes. Like
Can I be
everything,
honest?
bro.
Can I be honest? I was kind of upset. I wish I would have saved that one. I might have.
Why
I
is
might have
that?
wore that one for
For getting the awards?
Yes,
Oh, you like
That one is
That was
fire.
your favorite?
that was one of my favorites. That was my top. But y'all want to call it highlighter, but it worked out. I thought it looked good.
It looked
You know,
killer, dude.
I didn't know how it was gonna look on television like in the pictures, but it actually looked good. When I put it on, I was like,
Hey,
oh,
Alex moving at a
straight.
snail's pace
I
in
had a
this thing.
Balenciaga speed trainers on, so I was straight.
Yeah, you're always red carpet ready.
Always,
be.
dude. Right now,
Gotta
you
be.
literally could go to the red carpet with that outfit on.
So y'all can't tell me when y'all pick out stuff, y'all be like, man, like y'all.
Oh, I mean,
You don't just put on stuff just like, okay, these pants. Let me get a suit jacket, then get a dress shirt to wear. You try to line it up so when you know what I'm saying when you put it on and you get out in front of everybody, you want to look.
I mean, I've
Well,
done a
good.
couple times, like the Peaky Blinders suit. Like there's a couple times, but sometimes I'm just like, man, I
Like
don't
the
have
London
shit.
theme suit you did.
I'll just be.
you
tell
you
them the
put
story about you,
thought
your
into
rookie
that.
year.
That
Yes.
was fire. That was
Yes.
fire. The pictures, the whole nine. That's
Which
fire.
one was that?
The Peaky Blinder one.
Oh yeah, he looked good in that.
What about my
Started
rookie
off-
year?
Hey, started off really turbulent. That takeoff was tough with the haircut and
Yeah,
everything. But when it all came
the
together, it
vision
looked
coming
solid.
through.
The only thing I would change about that is light the damn cigarette next time. You don't gotta inhale it, but don't. Hey,
Yeah,
just
I
light
know.
the cigarette next time.
I can say that was probably one of the top suits. The whole thing this season.
Oh, the whole
hey,
team.
Hey, 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 listen, we can't. That's Derrick Henry approval.
I can say that.
Good for you.
I can say the whole setup.
Yeah, that it does when you kind of get like the first 3 weeks you kind of got lined up. At least for me, I got like, all right, I'll put this on and that on this,
Right.
and then like week 5 or 6, I'm like, God, I'm kind of running out of
Okay,
shit.
this
Yeah,
where-
that's how it is with me. I'm like, man, I just don't have shit.
Yeah.
This is where it goes higher. The haircut. Was that planned for that, or was that not? Was that set up for?
Yes, that haircut was set up for the Peaky Blinders fit.
Oh my god.
The tough part of that, here's what happened. Christmas was on Thursday.
Yeah.
So the barbershop was closed on Thursday and Friday or whatever for the weekend. So I knew we were going on Saturday. So I was like, I'm going to have to get this cut on Wednesday and I'm going to have to weather a little bit of a storm. I didn't know the storm would become what it was. But I was like, I'm going to have to weather a little bit of adversity going in the locker room with this haircut on. But if guys have seen Peaky Blinders, you know, they'll understand. Not a lot of people understood right when I walked in. Malcolm's like, you look like you're about to shoot up a school. Like, I was getting all kinds of jokes. It was hilarious. But yeah, that was planned for the Peaky Blinders
But the
suit.
thing is, you got that on Tuesday or Wednesday?
It was, I think it was Wednesday.
Well, it had to be
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, because we.
Go back to it. The barber did fuck up though, because it's not clean all the way across.
So if you look at the right side, obviously you see that line to where it looks like somebody placed
That's
a little
right
bowl on it. No, I'm talking about that right side.
Yeah, that's got like a
you see
little
it, that little
rainbow
line.
arc to the plateau.
He cut it. I would have liked him to have went a little higher, just
Wow,
because
you wanted to be higher.
because on you see on Arthur Shelby's, it goes all the way up to where his corner is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna
But-
lie. When I seen that, I was concerned. I
I think the
I
whole
was
world
definitely concerned. I wasn't going to say anything, but once it hit social media and Sports Center and all that, I was like, okay, this has to be a joke. Because when I first seen it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Everyone was like, everyone was,
got that simple jack.
yeah. He texted me and goes, hey, did you mean to do that or
Yeah,
was that? And we were just laughing about it. But he cut my hair. He did the whole razor thing. He cut it. He turned me around. I looked at it. And I started laughing like this. And I was like, this looks ridiculous. I was like, but I want to keep this. I want to keep this. He's like, do you want me to blend it? I can blend it. I go, I want to keep it right here. This is it. And then we got up from the chair. And then when no one knew what Peaky Blinders was the next morning, like whoever I was seeing that morning.
Was there anybody that did
I was
come
like,
up to you and
shit.
said, oh, I see what you
Well,
mean.
when Roger and a few guys came in that watched Peaky Blinders, they were like, yeah, hell yeah, this is awesome. And stuff. I was like, I was like, boys, see, this is real. This is real.
Yeah.
But everyone was obviously clowning me
You
for a
wore a
while.
hat for like 2 days straight.
When I got the Peaky Blinder hat for Christmas,
Yeah.
I wore that in, but just to kind of continue to start to paint the vision.
But
It's
the
like,
thing
oh,
is the haircut you have right now looks fine. Like
yeah, this is my
you would
regular,
take that-
this is my
This is
normal,
regular,
this is
yeah.
my
you
normal
would take
thing.
that hat off and everybody be like, all right, okay.
Yeah.
But then if you just put the hat, like you put the hat on that, what's the point of even having the haircut? Why don't you just wear the hat with that haircut and then you would have saved yourself?
For sure. But I wanted to be fully committed. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
listen.
I watched
you-
the show.
but you-
I love the show.
For you to
fully
start
committed?
that, for
Light
you
the
to start
cigarette.
that on
Yeah,
a
just light the
Wednesday,
cigarette.
True.
for you to start that on a Wednesday, you were definitely fully committed. Because
Yeah.
I was worried until Saturday at what was it? Maybe 2 p.m. when we got on the bus and I seen the post. I was like, okay, this is thing. Because at first I was like, there's
Go back
no
to that
way.
photo. Where did you do that post
There's
at?
no way you felt the back of your head and looked at your barber.
I
and looked in
was
the mirror
nervous.
and was like, this is what I wanted. But now
Yeah.
that the whole theme came out, I was like, okay, we're good. We're
Yeah,
good.
the barber was very concerned that I wasn't going to come back in. He was like, can you come in and I want to.
Oh,
give you
he
a
was
free cut.
he saw
Because he was like, he
fucked up.
said everybody here was just talking about, hey, you're giving our barbershop a bad name.
Oh, really?
And I was like, the next time I went in, I was like, guys, I told him this was fine. And I wanted to do that. It's literally all good. Go to the Peaky
Oh,
Blinder
man.
post.
Yeah, the Peaky Blinder post.
But yeah, when I felt
Where
the
did
back
you
of my
take this
head, I was
picture?
concerned.
This is outside.
This
your
is at
house.
Jack and Garrett's house when I dropped off their Christmas gift and paid them.
And you're like, hey, here's your Christmas gift. Here's your money. Now go outside and take these pictures.
Yeah, I said we gotta get these photos because on our away games, Donald's not there to take
He's not-
photos
yeah, exactly.
Why aren't you there on the away games?
because the COVID stuff. So
Bro.
when he wasn't there, I was like, I cannot let this haircut, I cannot let this all happen and not get the shots of what I was trying to do.
And that's how I felt about the snakeskin suit. I was like, there is no way impossible I didn't put this on.
And there we don't get all the
And
photos.
the only whatever promotion I get is Will tweeting about it, and there is no
Like an iPhone photo.
proof
Yeah.
of what
It
I
was
got
like an
on.
iPhone selfie photo. Hey, look at Derek's fitted. That's it.
I'm like, where is Donald at?
I know Donald, because he'd be like, hey, I'm in, this part of the stadium when you walk in. By the time you're going to the stadium, it's out of the mode of like the fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now
I'm
you're
more,
getting- you're
I'm
getting
more
like,
a get
I gotta
up.
go
I'm
play.
more of like, yeah, like let's.
I can't
I'll get
admit,
away with
whenever
an
I seen that
unbuttoned
tweet,
top.
it made me feel better. It was like maybe I didn't get the picture, but Will appreciated it. You
If you,
appreciate
if
it.
Yes.
you didn't get a lot of pictures, you should have just worn it again. But you can't do that.
I got my picture.
Because it's also
after the
different
game.
going to the stadium. You're like, I'm not going to go fully zooted in a suit walking to a home game because we're more casual, right?
Yeah,
or do you
for
go?
sure.
With
I always
the
wear
suit
the
too?
Neely.
You probably
No,
you're probably
he
always
goes
ready.
all out for every game.
That's when I
Every
ran
game.
out and I was like, all right, let me get some Air Monarchs with that starter jacket. That's when I did that next one.
What do you when you go and do all your fit? Do you like start right now? Like, what are we doing for next year? Do you wear the same suit twice ever? Like, how does your process go? Because you're just the nines every single game.
Yeah, what do
Away
you
or
do with
home.
all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, I usually wait like a month before the season,
Uh-huh.
and then she sends me like a list of stuff ideas that she has, and then I just I pick them out, and then I give her some of my ideas, and she puts it together. And then like sometimes like say like during the playoffs last year, I was literally like just looking up stuff, and I could send her the idea that week, and she could have it done. And send it
like
to
the
me.
big fur coat thing that you had.
The whole thing fitted for you.
She is the most efficient that I didn't work with. Shout out Johanna Abba Legacy. No free shout outs.
Hey, she's there. There you go. Let's go.
She needs one. Yeah. I mean, like even the one I wore the Patriots game for my birthday. It was like kind of like had that kind of like fluorescent color.
Fluorescent.
Like it was like purple, but it was like had that little like.
Oh yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, I was trying to mess with my Forces I had, Air Force Ones, because it had like a little fluorescent light on them, but yeah, it was still fire. But
what do you do with them when it's done?
She literally sent me. I was like, you have to find something that can match this, like close, even something that gets close. And she like found like this little quilt. I don't know if it was like a sheet or what it was, and put it all and made it into a suit. So that wasn't even like she just made that into a suit.
Damn,
how the hell does she do that?
That's wild.
Because you go get a suit done anywhere, and they're like, hey, it's gonna be like. What for
exactly.
A place like we go in Nashville? It's like 5-6 weeks at least.
Yeah,
and that's like if they're pushing.
Then you got to go in and try it on,
and then
get it altered a little bit.
Yeah, there's always an alteration to be done,
and you get it that you can get it
that's
that same
crazy.
week.
Well, like I met her during the draft, and then she does all the measurements, get Shanae, the whole nine. And then like from there, if like say I gain some weight or suits ain't fitting the same, she'll send somebody down to measure and do all those type of stuff. But every suit that I wear, she just sends it.
When you go through the draft, like there's Alba, there's Elevate. Was it Elevate?
Yeah, Elevate.
And there's like a couple others that always do it. I've done Elevate and I've done Alba, but every time I get the suit, it's like, I look like I'm going to a court date. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they seem this is 8 years ago now. And like they did quick measurements and they sent me something and it was like little, they went and took it back and it looked great after. But I wasn't into fashion. Like I didn't know anything about fashion. I'm kind of getting away from suits anyway. You know what I'm saying? But they had like
yeah, you don't really wear like many suits. I don't know.
I got suits.
You have some.
Yeah. I take it really serious at the beginning of the year. And then halfway through, I'm like, no.
Right, the excitement at the beginning.
It's the slow decline. But if you get it all done in the beginning of the year to where you're lined up for 16 weeks, then you're good. Then you don't have to worry about, what am I going to wear this week? Because literally Wednesday comes around for me and I'm like, it's Wednesday night and I'm about to go to bed. I'm like, God, I got to figure out what I'm going to wear for this plane ride. Because there's certain criteria you have to have, collared shirt. I don't own a collared shirt.
I still got some I haven't even worn yet. Like,
really?
What do you do with them when you wear them?
I had one set up for an away playoff game. I was going to be fired, but I'll save it for next year.
What do you do with them when they're done? Like when you wear the suit, like what's up with the snakeskin suit now? Is it for sale?
Did you have a mask to go with it too? Is it for sale? Can you buy it?
Can I get it?
I had a mask to go with it too, but
how do you breathe
I still have some of the suits. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with them. Should I save them? Should I donate them? But the ones that
so you're not gonna rewear them?
No.
Oh, that boy.
Hey, that is a massive flex.
No, I mean, why?
That's BDE.
No, why rewear them if I didn't got pictures? I didn't got everything I wanted in them. I don't need to wear them again.
True. I'll double down.
I still have some.
Yeah, I wear the same clothes all the time.
I've worn these pants 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
I mean, I do have stuff that I do wear more than once, but far as like a suit, I don't like have places where I'm just gonna keep wearing a suit.
Yeah.
So that's why I always get like a lineup for the season, just so I have them. But I don't just like have places to go to wear a suit. Like,
do you think you're at top of the league when it comes to dressing and fashion?
I would think, yes, I would put myself in that conversation.
1, who do you keep your eye on out there? Who do you keep your eye on? Who do you kind of respect and appreciate their style, their fashion? That kind of person that you're always kind of like, let's see what they're up to.
I don't know. That's hard. There's a lot of guys they got some drip. But
who's somebody? I know there's got to be somebody.
Hey, Frankie.
Frank Clark can dress, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever you know the check down on Instagram, no free shout outs.
Yeah,
the check down always does like the top fits of the week.
Top fits of the week. If y'all can pull up some guys y'all think that be dripped out, I can tell you if they are not. That's clean.
Who's that?
That's Miko Harmon. That's clean. He was clean. Was that yesterday?
That, man.
That's Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was clean.
That was sweet.
He was clean.
Derek got quiet. He didn't say a word about that.
Next.
Work for him.
Hey, no, go back. Go back. That's terrible. That was awful. He looks like one of those when you go to a carnival and all the guys are wearing curly mustaches
Yeah.
and they're singing a cappella together and they have the hats.
The barbershop.
It looks like
Hey,
a
you know
what I'm saying?
checkerboard,
Yes.
dude.
Barbershop.
If he felt clean, that's all that matter.
See, now I don't feel like you're being honest with me now.
I'm being as honest as I can. If he felt clean,
I respect it. Who's that?
another one. That's is that JPP?
No, that's I don't know how to say it. Tano Capassignon. I don't know how to pronounce that.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not JPP.
I didn't know.
He counted his fingers.
That's messed up.
Hey,
I mean,
real quick, JPP. When Tampa came to practice
yeah.
against us, JPP put the most filthy move on me in practice in 1-on-1s. Like, I went to punch, he like swiped, and then I went to come back, and then he like used my momentum to like throw me, and he got us like it was a sack on 1-on-1s, and he turned around and looked at me and goes, "And I did that with 3 fingers, motherfucker." I was like,
Yo, what a savage.
he
Because that was
called
part of
himself out. He's
my
like, "And I did that
Vrabel
with
bet."
this."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my!"
That was part of my
God, what a
Vrabel bet.
flex.
people forget JPP got a motor now.
He can go.
He can go.
He can go. He's always wearing that dark visor. Who's that?
Like Kelsey.
That's Kelsey. Yeah.
Kelsey.
Kelsey's always
Kelsey
he's
be
always wearing
swag.
stuff.
He
He
be
that Dior
swag.
suit he wore last year,
Yeah, he
the
be
whole
swag.
jumpsuit thing.
Kelsey be clean.
Yeah.
That stuff's sweet to me.
Yeah, he's one of them.
I always think about
Yep.
Tom City.
This
Yep.
guy is in a league of his own. In a league of his
Swagoo.
own.
Swagoo Compton, dude. Those whenever I think about putting clothes on, I'm like, I'm gonna lose a bunch of weight when I retire. Like, I can't justify getting an outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I go put it on. I'm like, well, in 5 years this won't fit, or 10 years this won't fit. Whatever.
Derek
However long
doesn't
you
think
play.
that way.
No.
He's like, what can I wear tomorrow?
You think you'll
That's
get
my
bigger
wonder.
or smaller when you're done playing?
I want to actually be bigger, probably like 255, 260.
You want when you're done playing?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm a lift, and of course I like to eat, so I feel like
You think you
Yeah.
get like is there a
I'm not
chance
doing much.
you get
I mean, I
fat?
still do cardio and stuff like that, but it's not like in the season when we constantly going that
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you be so busy. But yeah, when I'm done and when it all slows down, I think I'll be about 2.
Are you gonna be like a fitness dude? Like a
Not sort of like a fitness dude, but I'll lift and do all the things that I did during the season without the practice.
Yeah.
So 255, 260, and I think during the season sometimes we drop weight because so much going on, but you're not playing no more. You gotta.
yeah.
Do whatever you
Yeah.
want. I'm about to be 255, 260 also. That's the
No,
that's
do
the weight I'm
not.
going for. Bro, I'm telling
Do
you,
not.
absolutely.
Do not.
Dude, I lose weight so fast. There's no way.
Same.
That's the same thing
I'm
with
not
me.
gonna stay at 300.
That's the same thing with me. So
Bro,
that's why I
I
want to stay at
feel like you
255,
look at something
260.
the wrong way, you gain 5 pounds of muscle. Like you just do shit differently.
No, bro.
Like you
'Cause
went
look,
in you like Delaney. Remember Delaney Walker?
I'm not like Delaney. Delaney he's swole and he has big legs. I'm all long legs. People always ask me like, how can you do all this lifting and your legs are so small? I'm like, bro, I've
Get that all the time.
had this question with the man upstairs all my life. Like,
Just lay in bed.
I'm
Why?
trying to lift as hard as I can to get it just don't happen. I guess I just got long legs.
How do you find those shorts that fit your legs and stuff like that? Like where do you find those?
What do you mean, like as far as what shorts? Like
Like
what?
the ones that like grab your legs and stuff. Like I've never like came across those. Like if I was going shopping, I'd be like, oh, those are it. Those are gonna fit right. Like, do I buy mediums and you just buy a size down?
Well, I'm not getting rid of my sneakers, bro. Okay.
All right,
No free
I respect
shout-out.
that.
He does Derek does wear the tightest clothing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when you see that, is it like a certain you just size down and you know it's gonna grab your legs nice, or is it?
Grab your legs nice?
Yeah, because I size down, it
Exactly.
grabs the waistline a little
the
more.
waist a little bit.
and
You're
that
like,
little,
yeah, what the
that
fuck
little
is
muffin
that?
top falls off a little bit. Hey,
Yeah.
I ain't doing this.
That little mellow mushroom
Yeah,
dude, starts coming out and he starts peeking.
If it ain't tight, it ain't right, man. Come on now.
Tight, it ain't right.
Shout out Chevy Silverado, no free shout outs. As you can see, I'm sitting here on the stairs on the side of the bus. The generator's not working. It's freezing outside. You might be able to see my breath. We can't get the lights going, but the boys got to use grit and determination to get these ad reads done. And that is exactly what the Chevy Silverado represents. The most advanced, hardest working Silverado ever. The design is big, bold, and commanding. This truck is dependable like the people who drive them. You're able to tailgate, haul a lot of big things like a boat, TV, tailgate equipment, a couch to put in the basement for the big game. Who knows? Maybe you want to help your friends out for moving day, your family out for moving day. Maybe you just want to lend them the truck because you don't want to do moving day, but maybe you do want to help them out. This truck does absolutely everything. Head over to a Chevy dealership near you, let them know that the boys sent you, and shout out again to Chevy Silverado. No free shout outs. Back to the phenomenal episode.
God damn.
Let's talk about the 2,000
Uniquely
yards.
built human.
Let's talk about the 2,000 yards.
All right, let's
what
do
were
it.
what were you saying about the year before? When I was like, hey,
Well,
let's
he
go back
was
to the
okay. So
passion.
we had a conversation with Dennis Kelly a couple weeks ago, and I was saying you should be the MVP, and here's why. Dennis brought this up as well. Like Dennis brought up a good point. Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen had great years. No one's
Yeah.
arguing that they had great years, but they didn't do anything historic. Like the year Patrick won, it was 50 touchdowns. He threw 50 touchdowns like the first time that happened, or one of the first times it happened. Aaron Rodgers played really well, but they like statistically had great years, but it wasn't like historic.
the new
what-
standard of quarterback.
The new standard of quarterback was what we alluded to. What you're doing now is historic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And especially, who's the last person to go back-to-back rushing titles? LaDainian Thompson, LT. And
Shout out
would
LT.
he win the second year he went back-to-back? He won the MVP, right? And did he get as many yards as Derek? I don't think he did.
But I think what the thing with was that the year he had all those touchdowns?
I was gonna say, I think he
He
had,
had like 28 touchdowns.
Yeah,
But I think the knock on me was as far as MVP wise, and which I need to get better at. And I know that I need to improve on was probably the if I had the receiving yards probably to go with it,
Mhm.
just because it's a passing league now. And if I'm rushing and then I have the receiving to go with it, and I probably would put me higher in the conversation to even come close to possibly getting an award or being
How many
the
receiving yards do you
runner-up.
think you need? How many catches? How many yards?
I would probably need probably like 500. Because you got to
500?
think, Chris Johnson ran for 200 yards, 2,000 yards, and had 500 yards receiving. He still didn't get it.
Yeah.
So if I would have 2,027 and like 100 yards receiving, I would have needed to have.
You think if you go
like
for
500
2,000
receiving.
again, there's
I'll
no
go-
you go 2,000 again. There's no chance.
If I go for 2,000 again and I don't win it, that is disrespectful.
were you?
That's fucking
yeah.
disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Were you surprised that you didn't get like one vote toward the MVP?
I was a little surprised, because it's only been 8 people that have done it,
Right.
And
And you're the fifth best.
I had the 5th most in NFL history. Like, just acknowledge me a little bit, don't
Yeah,
act like
yeah.
I ain't.
Yeah. There's not that
You know
one
what I'm
guy
saying?
that's
Right.
like, well, you should give him the nod. I thought it was like, if you really looked at everything, what is the most historic for the value of the season? I think yours is, you should have won the MVP. I got confused when I was watching it and you won Offensive Player of the Year. If you win Offensive Player of the Year, do you get taken out of the MVP?
And
Because all the boys are rooting for you that
I
night.
thought
I'm
it
not
was
going to
be
get in trouble for
them
this. and,
four.
it is what it is, but they don't realize there's some games I didn't play the full game. Like I was taken out.
There was multiple games.
There's games
whether
I
you
didn't
guys are
even-
blowing them
I didn't
out
even
or-
play.
yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of some games I could have went crazy. And then in the Houston game, I feel like I could have had a better game. Those fumbles kind of killed it, so killed the momentum, and then we were going back and forth, and it came down to the wire. So, but if everything like because we were winning those games, so I should probably
And literally everyone knows we're running the ball.
And,
Yeah.
and if you think about like the games, there was a weird year for you guys because you'd play 2 games where you blew dudes out by 3 touchdowns. So you're obviously not going to play in the fourth quarter. But there was also the next game after that where you'd get blown out by Cleveland. It's like you would crush dudes or get crushed. Like it was a weird up and down. But
That's true.
either one of
That's
those,
true.
you're out, right?
Yeah.
Like the second half of the Cleveland game, how many snaps do you have? Like 3 or 4?
I think I had I didn't have many because I only had like 15 carries.
Right. Something
Yeah,
crazy
so-
small. And it's
'Cause
like
we were
if you
down
just-
like 38 to 7, 38.
when
It was
you
surprising.
guys were
It
playing
was-
we played Cleveland.
in Houston for the AFC South Championship,
Yeah.
I was literally when you were scoring, I'm like calling Bobo and I'm like, we need Houston to score again. We need Houston to keep it closer. Derek stays in the game because me and Bobo are like, we need 243. That was the number you needed, right, for that game.
223.
223. And here's the crazy shit. Here's the reason why you should have won the MVP is because if you go into the 17th game of the year or the 16th game of the year, week 17, and people go, he needs 223. Every other running back, you're like, well, it's not going to fucking happen. There's no way. And then you but like with you, everyone's like, well, yeah, it's a possibility. I mean,
Yeah, you
it's
had
like
all
200
different
teams
types
already.
of thoughts going into the game.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, man, it's gonna be tough. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
And
he
we're
could
counting
do
after
it.
the first quarter, it's like 62 yards. And I'm like, fuck, if he keeps this, he could do it.
Right.
And then he's over 100 after the half. And like, if he just keeps pace, it's like, and then I was thinking like, as long as the Titans don't get too far ahead of Houston, like the game couldn't have played out any more perfect for you to get 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, I mean, we all know it's a quarterback-driven league.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I was balling, and you could have argued me, but at the same time, I ain't going to take away from the guys that were also in the race. Like who won it? Aaron Rodgers, 51 touchdowns, 48.
Yeah, I mean, it was
touchdowns.
an incredible year.
He's
as well.
like
It was
the
kind of like
fifth
the new-
most efficient season by a quarterback in NFL history. I mean, you can't ignore that. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. We know that, and Josh Allen had a great year too. So it was like, I mean, I can see where I mean,
I feel like it's just like
the
a
whole
quarterback
argument.
award.
But I was glad to be able to take home something. Like, don't just ignore me. Don't let me not take home something. I mean, at least I took home the offensive. I mean, that's something.
Because what got me is like you were offensive player of the year, but you weren't a nominee at all or a vote at all in the MVP stuff. So it's like
I ain't gonna lie, I
if
was
those
shocked
other
by that
two
when I
guys
seen that.
got a couple MVP nods, like why weren't they in the running or like getting the offensive player?
That's
if,
why I
if they're
didn't
seen
under- yeah,
if they're
that's
seen
why
as
I
number 2 in the
understand.
MVP,
Exactly.
why aren't they the number 1 for offensive? Like if he won offensive, he should have probably been like number 2, the MVP. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's kind of
I don't
confusing.
understand
It's
the
kind
vote.
of like
I don't know the
Heisman-
voting.
The
I don't
Heisman
understand
voting,
the
right?
vote.
If you win the offensive player of the year or what's there's like the Heisman
It's the
and there's another one that's
it's like,
like
the AP. I don't
Player of the
know.
year or something?
something
I
like
think.
that. Well, there's also like the best quarterback of college or whatever award, and that whoever
David
gets that
Lamar.
award usually doesn't win the Heisman. It's like the
Right.
consolation prize. So
Right.
is that how that works?
Maybe. I have no
but
clue.
it's like I said, the argument to lay your head on is no one else has had a historic season. They all had amazing seasons.
I
No
will-
one's arguing
but-
they had
but
amazing
look at
seasons.
this.
Another position though who had an historic year was Travis Kelce as well. Like
Yeah,
as far as what he
definitely.
did for tight ends.
Yeah,
He kinda
but
broke yards
for
fifth-
tight
it's the
ends.
5th year in a row of a
Broke the
1,000-yard
record.
season. That's the record you're talking about.
I think it was like most yards for a tight end.
Tight end
Like the
ever.
ball- he broke the record for
Like this
total
argument
yards.
can go on and on for offensive player of the year, MVP. I'm just happy I was able to take home something. But I want to say something to Taylor. When I see you in the locker room, it had to be like maybe the first day of training camp. What did you say to me when I walked up to you? What did you say?
2106.
Yeah. See?
That's all I care about.
2106.
Is 2106 the record?
21 I think 2105 is the record, and so 2106 would beat the record.
Hey, hey.
But it was just crazy to speak, that 2000 and actually happened.
into
It's like-
existence. What were you
'Cause we were
thinking?
sitting there and literally like every year at the beginning of the year, like me, Derek, Ben, like a couple of the guys, like we sit around, have our like little bonfire talk. Basically, we'll sit in the corner of the locker room, the O-line is, and it's like we just daydream. We daydream about Derek's season,
Yeah.
right? Because we want to keep Tannehill healthy, but he's gonna sling it. But it's like Derek's, your stats are those guys' stats as well. Like they're so like to be a part of a 2,000-yard season is unbelievable.
Right.
So we sit there and we're like, how sick would it be if he got 2,000? It was like, well, if he gets 2,000, like, what's the record? Now we're Googling the record.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 2105. Do you think he can do it? I'm like, well, fuck, he got 1,600 last year. And I think even the games I did play, the first 5 games, we were sitting there and we're like, all right, well, he got only 48 last year and he got over 100 the first game. Like we're keeping count the whole way up. Like he's got to average 143 to make it to 21. That's like literally was on the O-line's mind.
And the thing about it
Entire
was, whenever
year.
he came up to me and said 2106, I was playing along with him back in my head. I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm even getting close to the 2000.
For real?
You got to be
Yeah.
mad as
I was like, ain't no way.
What
in
were you
hell.
thinking
I thought for sure
going
I-
into that last game, thinking you needed 223? Were you like, man, this 2000 is probably out of reach, or were you like, oh, we can get this?
Like the thought of it was like cool as hell, but I'm like, I'm 223 yards away from 2,000 yards. We played him early in the year, and I ran for 215 yards or 212 yards, like 2 touchdowns. I was like, ain't no way in hell they finna let me do this again. So I'm like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
What's for you gonna be for you, but I ain't pressing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
gonna go out there and play my game. Not because I feel like you think about it so much, you're gonna be trying to do
Right.
anything you
Try to do
can
too
to
much.
trying to do too much. So I was like, if it happens, it happens. But when we got in the game and we got rolling, I was like,
He said,
Hey, when did you
"Uh-oh."
know you had a shot? After the first quarter?
It was after I had broke off. I think I scored. Then I had another long run where I thought I scored, but they called me out of bounds. And then I had a 40 like a 40-yard run where I broke like a couple tackles, struck out and
Down
then
the visiting sideline.
Yeah. Then I hit the safety out of bounds. And I think the linebacker tackled me, and I was like, "Uh-oh."
Hey, the only one
Yeah.
tackling you that game was Zach Cunningham.
Yeah.
That was the
Hey,
only dude
that
tackling
fum-
that game.
that
That dude
fumble
is a
too.
savage.
There's anybody.
I don't fumble.
I
that
know.
ball. And to come to find out was so funny. I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to. I did an interview because I was doing media with Old Spice. No free shout outs. But I saw Old Spice.
Yeah.
But they were saying that Eric Dickerson, he got nervous because he thought that I was finna break it. And all I could think about is if I get that run and keep that same momentum going, how like
The run where the back fist came.
because I was
I know.
out. If he don't hit that ball, like how close do I get to that record? But it is what it is.
And it was
That's God
unbelievable
telling me
play.
you ain't there yet. Let's keep working. So I'm motivated.
Those that play though was unbelievable by Cunningham.
Dude, that
Like,
shit was
it
unreal.
All luck, 100% all. Like I think Roger hit him, right? Roger hit him.
No, I think it was Brewer. Brewer had him like he
Blocked.
blocked him, but
You got the
somehow
hat
he,
on
like,
him.
He came back. And
He spun
whipped it
around and hit it. And all I could do when I just looked at him, I was like, "You mother."
Because the 2 tackles before that, Zach had tackled him both times. He like shed a good block on Quiz, and then the next one he hits the shit out of Saffold. And I was like,
Cunningham
yo,
surprises the shit out of me
Cunningham's
with
out
heat.
there balling, dude.
I don't know how he don't get more recognition than he does.
It'll happen
He was like the
next year.
leading tackler, I think, this year.
It's the
Wasn't he?
record.
He's one
The
of them.
record's got to be
He's
good to have that kind of recognition.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
good
but
player. I
still,
was
though,
surprised he
you
didn't get
just
Pro Bowl.
don't
Stud.
ignore things that he be doing. He the truth.
Cunningham's he's a really good football player because he's fast as shit. And so you're like, oh, I got to get over the top on him. And then if you kind of get on top, he dips inside really well.
And he don't
And
care
then once
who
you're like,
you
all right, I'm
are.
not gonna let him get me, then he
Yeah.
layers that fucking boom on you.
He
and you're
don't
like,
care.
God.
He just
Because
He's coming
Ray would be
downhill.
like block 41.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, why does he talk about 41 so much? And then I was
Ray,
watching that
yeah,
game.
yeah.
And I was watching that
Did
game.
you
I was like,
see?
hey,
Goddamn.
wait, Zach is nice out
Yeah,
I
there.
said it last
41
year.
for real.
The truth.
Yeah, he is
last year.
legit, dude. We ran a outside zone, I think last year at home, and I had my eyes. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna spring this thing because I had a good block being the tight end going up to linebacker, and he just went inside, hit Derek so damn hard. And Derek, the most insulting thing you always say, but it's always funny as hell later is like he always goes, "What happened on that?" And you're like, Derek always goes, "Hey, what happened on that?" And you're like, "God, man, listen, I missed the block." He's like. You
That's funny you
just
said-
missed the block? Yeah. Dude, I don't know what
Could
to
you
tell
not? Could you not block him?
Hey, it's funny. And remember Carolina last
Sometimes
year?
you just need to know. So I asked without saying, "Hey, how you?" Tell me what happened on that.
And you know how Derek gets in games like, hey, what happened? Eyes
yeah.
big. What happened on that?
Oh, you
I
couldn't
missed
block
the-
him?
You missed it?
Then he like
Like,
reaches over and like, all right, man,
And then we go 2 or 3 plays and
take it to the
breakdown,
house.
so then we
hey,
good.
we were playing Carolina. Derek and I, we sat in the plane. This is 2019, so you weren't there. We sat in the plane together
Sorry, buddy.
every time. Yeah.
It was
We were
tough.
playing. We
It
were
was
playing
hard.
Carolina, and Luke Kuechly was like off the edge. We ran like the end went inside, and Kuechly came out. So I went to Kuechly and I took him out. Derek broke like a 15-yarder, but they called me for holding.
Ooh,
I get on the plane and I go to like scoot past Derek. Derek won't get his legs out of the way. And for me, I'm like, "Hey, can I just?" He goes, "I'm mad at you." I'm like, "For what, man?" I'm like, going to sit in my chair. He goes. He looks at me and he goes, "You owe me some yards." And then he turned like this, and he talked to the other guy. I'm like in the corner of the back of the plane, like by myself. The rest of the
one
whole
of those
flight.
flights you just think about,
Yeah,
like
I'm like, yeah, I do. Oh,
you're just
don't
watching
I?
your film over
And
and
every
over.
time I had a good blocker, I was like, "Got you. I got your yards back. We're
Yeah.
good now. We
Yeah.
called it." You know. But that's what you want, though. We talk about it all the time, like guys like AJ, guys like you, the guys that want the ball.
Don't act like I'm the only one that.
No.
You know,
You're,
there's been times where he's confident that there was a hold and he was like, "Hey, what did you see there?" I was like, "Taylor, I know
we
I
can
missed
get
it.
back to
Taylor,
it.
I know I missed it.
I get mad.
I know I missed it." But I mean, that's just
Goes both
that's who
ways
we
with the
are.
fellas, man. In the freaking trenches. Yeah, if Taylor makes a block, like, hey, did you not see that hole? Did you not see that hole? I
We
made
have
for
that
you?
much
Yeah.
of high expectation for each other.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
why.
right.
that
There's
occurs, but-
there's definitely that. But like I said, like AJ is a dude. It's like if you just threw the ball to AJ every single play of the game, even if he was double covered, he'd be so happy.
Oh
You know?
yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like
you saw
kinda
how he
want-
was.
It could be looked at as selfish, but it's really not. It's like you just want the opportunity to do that, and that's what you do as well. Like when you get into games, Derek will joke the whole entire week, and then Sunday comes and you like try to joke with him, and he's just like won't even talk to you.
Yeah.
And God forbid, like something like Cleveland happens when he had a fumble. I looked at Taylor and I was like, because I'm obviously not playing. I looked at Taylor, I was like, he's not going to talk to anybody the rest of the week. Like that whole
For
next week,
fumbling
and
the
you
ball.
just get mad.
Oh, after we won the AFC South, he like did a little speech in the locker room after we were saying sorry for the fumble and stuff like that.
I was like, "Hey, shut
and he's
the
gonna
fuck
he's
up."
gonna get it right, and I'm just standing there like, yeah. All right, we just won, man. Like it's all good.
2,000 yards too. I'm like,
yeah.
what are you
got
talking
2,000 yards, over 200 yards, and I mean I get it, but it's like all right, Derek.
Like honestly, like and I'm sure all running backs feel me. If you fumble the ball. That is, I promise, that's like one of the worst feelings ever in the world. Like it's like I don't know. It's just like the worst.
You just feel like
ever.
you're letting everybody
like
down.
like you can have like that game. I went for like two. Well, I think I went for like 250 something. I wouldn't even like.
Oh yeah, all you thought about was that. I mean, it speaks to you and your competitiveness and like
it took
wanting,
everything
not
in me
wanting
to
to let the
enjoy
team
it.
down.
I was like, then when I got home that night, the next day, the whole week, I'm like, dang, I got fumbled. I just keep telling, like, dang. My girl, she was like, my girl was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, I fumbled. She was like, let it go. I was like, I can't. This is how I am.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like
it's why you're as good as you are.
Yeah, and you don't really fumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You really don't fumble.
Knock on that thing.
I wasn't hard enough. We got the thing. There we go. There we go.
Do you think like in the beginning of the year when you watch your season, like everyone talks about you in December, how many yards you have in December, 5, whatever, 4, whatever, like the month of December.
Yeah.
What's so different to you about December than it is in September?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know, but I wish. I mean, I don't want it to start that way. I wish it happens from September to December, but that's how it's gonna go. I mean, it's been working.
I mean, if your September was like your December and it went all like that, we're talking about
Exactly.
3,000 yards.
Yeah.
You're talking about something crazy.
Exactly, but if that's how it's gonna go and how it's been going, I'm all with it. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I just feel like even early this year when we weren't having the success that we thought we were going to have. But I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't
Started out 5-0
to where we thought that the way it was going to go. But I mean, we still were getting yards. We still were pushing forward. But like I don't know, you can just feel when we just get in that rhythm, when we start rolling.
Yeah.
It's kind of
It's like
At the end of the year, that
Things
is
get
crazy.
easy.
A
Like when you're
lot
trying-
easier.
when you're trying to like press so hard, it's like the
Yeah.
minute we all kind of relax a little bit, everything is like, oh, okay, that's
Here
when
it
stuff starts
goes.
taking off.
Here it goes.
Yeah,
And it's like everybody can feel. I don't know.
Everyone's just clicking.
Yeah. It's just.
it's a different deal. I've never been a part of anything like that. Like
You talking about 19 when you guys went on the run?
19, 20, like all of it. Like I wasn't really around for 20, but
But still,
I'm
though,
sure it
I
was
mean,
the
you can
same
just feel
feeling
it.
going
You know
into
it. Like whenever we get
Yeah.
rolling, it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
you go to
No
that
doubt.
you go to that Baltimore week in the wild card game, and you're like, oh yeah, like we got this.
Yeah.
But you do that. It's not like a we're too comfortable. It's like there's a confidence like we're gonna go and we're gonna play fucking hard. And
Yeah, like you're figuring out your identity.
Yeah,
like we're
you're
living
trying to
into
start
our
this.
identity.
Yeah, that's crazy. What did you think about that?
Can you compare that to Alabama? What was that like? Like, is that the same feeling in a college locker room as it is where you guys are here in Tennessee?
Well,
Like getting rolling, like
Yeah.
knowing you're gonna like win and
Yeah.
roll and stuff.
I don't know. It's different because like at Bama, no offense to your school,
Oh, hang on.
we just knew
Say their
we
names.
just knew that we were
Hey,
going.
say their names.
We just knew that we were going to
Nebraska,
dominate everybody we played every week, no matter who we played. Because by the way we practiced, we actually practiced harder than the game, so the game was just so much easier. Like when it was time to play, but we just knew like it was no doubt in our mind when we lined up.
Did you see
We're gonna be
Saban's recruiting pitch? That Zoom call he was on. Did you see it?
I saw it.
And he's sitting there talking like, you go against, your own teammates, and you're playing against somebody better than who you're going to face out there throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean,
He
They
goes,
just had the greatest, quote unquote, greatest recruiting class in the history.
and Saban goes. He also goes, and for any of those teams who are telling you, you should come to our place because you can get on the field quicker and stuff like that. Those teams are already telling you that we're better than them. I was
the thing about it is
I was
like,
like, yo,
Isn't that
Saban is a
wild, dude?
savage.
And here, another thing about people that play at Alabama, like you go to Michigan, there's guys that have had up and down experiences. I had a downer experience. Other guys had up experiences. There's guys at Nebraska, I'm sure, the same way, up and down things.
for sure.
But every dude at Alabama, like we'll go in to the cafeteria and Rashawn Evans and Derek are like yelling, "You lost to Alabama! You lost!" Just yelling at dudes in the cafeteria. And it's like everyone is obsessed with Alabama who went to Alabama.
Yeah.
but the thing about it is everybody who didn't go Alabama always talks trash to us about Alabama, like
Because we want Alabama to lose.
Even my running back coach,
We want Alabama to fail. What do you mean?
Exactly. My running back coach was with the Giants, and he's like, it's crazy how much people just just want to talk about Alabama and trash Alabama, but
Yeah, because
it's all in fun and
we want them to
games.
fail.
We love it though. We love having
I can't wait
arguments.
for
We
Alabama to
love
be done.
I know.
we love going back and forth about Bama. But back to that question, I don't know. In college, I don't know. We're just like I said, we knew we were gonna dominate, and that was our whole.
Yeah, that's the answer.
That was our whole focus.
No disrespect.
But in the league with y'all, I don't know. It just like I don't know the chemistry I got with y'all. It's like it's so different. Like we hold each other accountable. We have high expectations. You know, I don't know. And then like when we get in that flow, it just like, I don't know. It just,
And it's fun as
it's
hell,
just different. You know what I'm saying?
too. Yeah.
Like the chemistry we all got. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
know exactly
we,
what you're saying.
like
It's
we,
the coolest shit in the world.
like we take it to heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? That
It's
running
like, it's like
game.
a college vibe in the NFL because you're
Yeah.
like you're boys with everybody.
Right.
Everyone you really want. I really want Roger to go to the Pro Bowl. I really want Derek to get the record. Like they want all.
and you know what
everybody
it
else to be
is?
successful.
You know what it is? And
I love how you guys are talking to me like I wasn't on the
Well,
team.
you're on defense.
No, you're on
No,
defense.
hey, I know. I'm just
saying,
joking.
just so
I'm just
you
joking.
can understand.
You know?
where-
He's like, you know, man, when we all get together,
you know what it is? It's like they know us. They watch film. They know what's coming, and you still can't stop it. And when you do, just know we're coming right back at you. We might not play you the next year, but when we play you again, just know we ain't forget, and we come right back at you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love about the line, because it's all tied together. Like it's
You said just we might not play you next year, but just know we're coming back to you. Who are you talking about?
hey, we all know who he's
we all
talking
know
about.
Who you're talking about?
You know,
We're talking about
you
them
know.
Ravens.
Matt Judon.
Hey,
Matthew.
I'm glad we brought this up. Yeah.
I'm glad it's coming up too. Matthew Judon was on CBS Sports. Doesn't matter. No free shoutouts.
I think I saw that.
And he had this 3 minute 45 second video, him talking about how we're sore winners, how we went on the logo. Will and I have talked about this before. Since you've been on the team, what do we do when we go to away games? We go to the middle of the field.
Middle of the field. That's
And we
what I
break it
told him. I
down.
said we've been doing that since I got here.
Yeah.
We're going to middle logo. And we
I'm
actually
pretty
did
sure-
it when we played them in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no big deal. I don't know if they didn't come out when we actually broke down the middle logo,
That's the reason.
this year they actually came out, probably because there wasn't no fans and stuff like that. But we did it last year and it wasn't no issue. And we do it at every field. It ain't like we disrespecting them. That's just how we break it down in the middle of the field. Then we go to our
Right.
sideline.
Here, like they came, they got mad about it. And then how did you feel when you saw on the field of them, like they picked off Tannehill, they go to the 50-yard line and
Slide
they start
on it and just start
sliding
doing
on
the
our
most.
logo and taunting
Yeah, what'd you
us.
think when they did that?
I mean, just because, it was kind of like retaliation. So when somebody retaliate, I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of like disrespect, which we weren't being disrespectful, but that's how the media took it. And that's how they ran with it. Coach Vrabel and Harbaugh had that discussion in the middle of the field, which, we've been doing that since I got
Fueled the
here.
fire.
But
Love it.
the way they did it, they was trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
And they won rightfully so. They had a good game plan. They shut me down and they advanced.
I like the new little
But
rivalry
the
that's
thing about
came
it is, I
about
don't-
with the Titans and the
For real.
Ravens.
One thing
yeah.
about it, I don't never talk trash. Anything that gets handled,
He doesn't say anything.
it gets handled in the trenches. I might, have they caught me talking early in the defense
I was
at the end
gonna
of the
say,
game
so I've
last
heard
year.
you say
But that was
anything.
that was at the end of the game. But I'm never gonna talk trash. Whatever gets handled, it gets handled in the trenches. So it is what it is. Like I said, they won. They beat us. But at the end of the day, hopefully we can see them again. We can do this again.
The more petty, the better.
I'm all
I'm
about the petty.
I'm all about it. I love
being
that
petty.
Judon went on and did this stuff. Like,
But at the
I'd
end-
love for him to be on here.
At the end of the video, Judon, the guy asked him, "Well, you're going to be a free agent this year. Let's say the Titans offer you
Yeah,
the
that's
most
right.
money.
That's right.
What do you do then?" And Judon goes, "Well, then
Yeah.
now I'm on that side of the
He's one of the
rivalry."
boys.
That's how, because it's like, listen,
It's all
like
business.
it's not like if you were to see was it Marcus Peters who did that in Miami or in LA or anywhere outside of football, you're not going to go and be like, "Hey, motherfucker, like you did that."
Yeah.
No, it's like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Hey, nice, all right. We see you, and on the field."
It has to
Yeah,
be.
but
addressed.
like I said, we handle it in the trenches. And what made me bad?
That's gonna be the headline.
And what
You
made
guys
me mad
know.
about that
Titans
game-
players busting with the boys. It needs to be addressed.
Yeah, it needs to be addressed.
And what made me mad about that game was like people talk about the 2,000-yard season. Yeah, that was cool, but you're only as good as your last game. My last game, I had 18 carries and 40 yards. And like I said, credit goes to the Ravens defense. They did a great job. They executed. But what made me mad most about that game is they had that planned before they even played us.
They had
Oh,
all
yeah.
their
Oh,
their
yeah.
stuff planned. Like not shaking hands. Let's go on their logo.
And when we allowed them to do exactly what they wanted to do, like them standing in the logo, then after the game going straight to the locker room and not even want to shake hands.
I mean, what can you do?
I mean, so all that is doing
Handle
is
it. Address it next time you
The
play.
next year,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
The long
saying.
game, dude. You got to play the long game.
So, next time we play them, we just got to play better. We just hang out in the trenches.
So you
know what
shaking
I'm saying?
hands next time?
My shaking hands next
Yeah.
time. We like they talked about doing that, walking to the locker room. We'll talk about how we want to handle it. But
Yeah.
either way it goes is
I'm all about that petty.
we went from one game away from the Super Bowl to being knocked out to now like a potential rival. So 2021,
Yeah.
let's get it.
Yeah.
Judon also had I think he was mic'd up saying something about them putting cry laughy faces on you. Hey, don't get got. They'll put cry laughy
Yeah. Like,
faces on
hey,
you before they put the
don't look
Bills.
sad. Yeah.
Which they heard on this podcast.
I
'Cause you were
feel like
saying
they
that.
did hear it because I want to say Humphreys might have tweeted like, I don't know how everybody else handles it, but saying something about like being a good sport or something like that. I don't know. Like that's not the way I would go about it or something.
Listen,
I would assume he might have saw the Jordan Cryface photo. I mean, that was just
it's just petty.
Petty.
It's just
Yeah, it's
petty.
just petty.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
That's what people think. People like see Instagram and Twitter, like how much we say stuff. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if we say something, like it's not a big deal
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything, right?
Right.
Yeah, I know.
It makes it more fun. Like
And
it
one thing I do say, even though we have our little rivalry thing, when I see them, when I talk to them like Calais or even Judon, me and Marlon, we play together. It's all cool. Like he ain't never like
Right.
We ain't taking it from the field to
Exactly.
real life.
Yeah.
Like me and Calais, we were in Tampa the other day at the little war thing, just talking, having a real conversation.
He's a great
Never-
dude too.
he is
Real
an
good
awesome
He's a
dude.
nice dude. I saw him at the Pro Bowl and he's like, you play against him when he's at Jacksonville and he can't understand anything because he's 8 glass.
Yeah.
His voice is so deep. And like he's just screaming at you the whole time, and then you go and meet him. And he's like the nicest dude in the world.
Yeah,
But
and I
that's-
talked to I seen Dobbins. Me and Mark cool. That's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. I mean, you rival on the
Right.
field, then
Right.
you see that it ain't, you know what I'm saying?
We all
But
go through like
when-
the same grind, and everybody has that same respect for each other.
But when on the field, we ain't trying to hear all that. So
Yeah, you're trying to win.
That's just
And Humphreys, by the way, is a dog.
dog.
Probably the best DB I've ever seen like attack the
Built by
ball.
Bama. Built by Bama.
Here we go. Bama.
Those tread on those tires, they'll fall off fast.
Hey, I hate Bama.
I would say has probably the most busts in the NFL. of
Hey, I
any-
fucking hate
of any
Alabama.
NFL team. If you look at Bama, like there's the Derrick Henrys that are good, Dante Hightower.
Whoa, hold on.
What are you trying to say?
You do not
I'm
want to.
saying Bama has. They have a lot.
I
of
want
guys
to try
that
and
do
help
well.
you, but
They have a lot of- they have a lot of guys-
I'm nervous
Well,
that you're.
listen.
Whoa.
They have a lot of guys that do well in the league, but they have so many busts.
Who?
All right, shout out Bare Bottom Clothing. No free shout outs. They got a lot of stuff on here, so I'm going to have to read. Bare Bottom Clothing is the go-to for the most versatile, comfortable, and wearable everyday clothing for guys. Everything Bare Bottom makes is made with premium, adventure-tested fabrics without the premium price. From their best-selling stretch joggers, which are made with their flagship cotton spandex fabric blend, to their insanely soft moisture-wicking tech tee. They only make threads you will actually love wearing all day long. Bare Bottom Clothing is built for value. You're getting comfortable, made-to-last shorts, pants, and tees for a fraction of what you have to spend on the other guys. The boys must be doing something right because they have over 100,000 customers who love bare bottoms for everyday wear that keep them coming back for more. They've also donated over 100,000 shorts to children in need through their One For You, One For Them program. For a limited time, they're switching things up and will donate a protective mask to a first responder, teacher, or someone in need for each item purchased. Over 200,000 masks have already been donated. Right now, our listeners are getting free shipping. All you got to do is go to barebottomclothing.com and use code BUSSIN for free shipping. That's Bare Bottom Clothing. That's BEAR, like the animal, bottomclothing.com to get free shipping. Take advantage of these threads. Now back to the boy.
Well,
How
I
many
don't want to
dudes you
start
wanna say?
calling guys out.
I can go on and
Yeah,
on
I don't want to
about.
start saying names.
I can go
but
on and
don't-
on about how many people-
Just censor
we got
me.
the most
Just
players
censor
in the
me on this
league.
part.
We have
Mark
the most
Barron, Chance Warmack.
We have the most players in the league still. Even if they had short
a lot
careers,
of practice squad
we
dudes,
still
a lot
have
of second team guys.
It don't matter. League started for the Ravens and played the
Listen,
full season.
Please, like beep all this shit. He's trash. All right, he's
It
not
don't
good
matter.
at football.
He started.
Let's go down. Okay,
Look at that. Look at all that.
so all the good ones are gonna be in the front. So just keep.
He
scooting
said
back.
all the
Keep
good ones.
going.
It's a lot of good
Keep
ones.
All right,
going.
hey, that one right there at the end.
That's one.
Beep. Trash.
Keep going.
Hey, yo, is not. Hey, you can't say that about.
He is
No,
not trash.
no.
You said I thought you were talking about
Him. No.
He had a
Hey,
he
was a good player.
He was a top 10 pick. He is
You
not
say
lived
he's
up to that at
trash?
all.
What?
Bro,
Okay.
good.
Pick, he's a hit.
Okay.
If he's a second round pick, he's a hit, but he's not.
All right.
All right.
Ooh,
This one.
yeah, I think that's tough, man.
Unbelievable. Fell off.
No,
Wow, he
no.
didn't play this year.
He just didn't
What are you
play.
talking
What team
about?
are you on? I want to be on yours. But you're saying some outlandish stuff.
Okay, this one fell off. Keep going.
Started the whole year.
It doesn't matter. Just because
He got hurt. He got hurt.
Okay, he got hurt, but I haven't heard
Pro
of him
Bowl.
in a while.
Pro
Stud.
Bowl.
Stud.
Still in the league.
Okay. Oh, let's go to him.
Still in the league.
Let's go to him.
You said
We're all
still
in the league.
If you're saying still in the league, that doesn't mean shit.
We have more star players and more
yes.
all-pro players than
Yes.
any college out.
Yes, but you also have a
We
lot of
produce
busts.
in college and it comes to the league. What do you mean?
Who are you getting those facts from?
What do you mean?
Yeah, reference.
If you,
What's
if
the
you want to talk
source?
about quality, who's the greatest football player of all time?
That's hard.
Tom Brady. It's not hard.
Well,
What do you
Tom
mean?
Brady. Tom Brady, yes.
Yes, Tom Brady's the greatest football player to ever. He's a goat of all goats.
Hey, I will say
Okay.
this.
But
Okay.
where'd he go?
When you're scrolling on all of those players that we just went through,
Hey, insane.
it's crazy to know, like, when somebody went to Bama, your question to them as a teammate is, how many championships did you win when you were
Right.
there?
Exactly.
It's like, I won 3. And someone's like, man, I won all 4. Yeah. Or someone's like, we only won 2.
I
And it's
saw
like,
I saw
my
a stat that
God.
was like since 2008, any player who played more than or played at least 3 years at Bama has a national championship.
we need to bring
I had like 2
every
winning
recruiting
seasons.
class.
We need to bring Bama down.
Has won national championship. Every
we need to bring
recruiting class.
Bama down. How much did Bama pay you?
I got paid nothing. They paid me in rings, baby. You feel what I'm saying? I got
I'm trying to
paid
start
in
some
rings,
headlines.
dog.
Starting to bring,
I got
trying to
paid
tear
in
them down
rings,
a
got
little.
paid a lot of money by Bama to go
I
there.
got paid in rings, homie. You feel me?
I'm trying to bring Alabama down.
But you
I'm
know,
trying to
so
create a
funny.
headline.
My first 2 years, I mean, we didn't even win a national championship. We my freshman year,
What was your freshman year?
kick 6.
Oh,
Don't-
Auburn.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
And then my sophomore year, we won the SEC championship, but then we lost in the playoffs against Ohio State. That's when Zeke and Cordell and all
They
went
were good.
crazy on
Yeah,
us.
yeah, they were good. I was rooting hard for them.
And then my third year, I was like, you know what? This is the year I'm starting. If we're gonna win, it's put it all on me. And what happened?
How many yards did you get that
I took
year?
home the Heisman. Took home the Dope Walker.
What'd the bank account
I
look
took
like?
home the Walter Camp.
What'd the bank
I
account
took
look like?
home
Like a
the
phone number.
Maxwell,
Yeah.
and I took home a ring.
Who in your family got jobs?
Say what?
Who in
Who in your family got
cars,
jobs?
Houses.
All those trophies got jobs. They went on this shelf. All went on that shelf.
Those trophies had their own house.
Had their own.
Hey, that is crazy. And you only started 1 year.
Only started 1 year.
That's why all that treads on the tires.
We ain't
Yeah.
stopping.
Hey, when do you
Ain't
think you'll
stopping.
fall off?
You know people
When,
won.
when do you think you'll fall off?
I got at least 10 years in me.
10 more years?
Getting hurt was the best thing. My whole body is doing great, except
yeah.
for me. You know, I'll probably play at least another 8.
At least another 8 more years. That puts you at what, 30?
That'll be going into my 16th year. I don't know. I
mean, that would be
don't believe
incredible.
in age. It's just,
Just
I
a
don't believe
number.
in that.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no gray hairs on this head.
I think you can.
Thank you.
I like to play past 10, but it's all,
You'll get
whatever,
10.
whatever God got planned for me. that's
What
fine.
year did you just
No,
finish?
I love that. I think it's an unbelievable answer, but I want to know, when do you think you will? How many years?
That's
do you
an
think you have
unbelievable
left
answer.
to
I'm
be?
not supposed to
I think-
answer that. I'm not going to say, I don't think I got.
How about
3 or
this
4
though? How about
years
this though?
left.
So, so on your stature and the way you play, how physical you are, obviously people are always curious, like the longevity you're going to have in the league. When you think about those things, like what do you do? What do you feel like you're doing for your body and things that is going to keep you in and maintain this kind of level?
That's not the question I asked.
Hey, I do the things for my body that gets me through every game of the season. Last year, I think I played 15 games. This year, 16 games. I mean, obviously, there's things that I'm doing are working. With that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The stuff I do, I mean,
How much you think you spend on your body a year?
I can't even. I spend a lot.
I know
You have to.
one year it was like
You have
James
to.
Harrison came out and it was something came out with him and he spent like $500,000 on his body, maybe.
But
No,
just
there's
trying to do things to
the
my
reason
body.
why I brought that question up, and it was a really hard question to answer. When you look at backs with the amount of volume that you get, you would think you would start to slow down at the point in your career. However, this is why I think you're an anomaly. Is the more you wear into the season, the better you get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like your first game isn't your 200-yard game. It's the 5th game. It's the 8th game. It's the 14th game.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think you got a lot of time.
I got a question for y'all. Do y'all think my run style is physical? Like I'm just a bruising, physical, and if y'all would describe my running style, how would y'all say my running style is like?
I don't know, a 99 stiff arm on Madden.
No, I'm saying my running style. Like if you could describe my running style, what would you do? You think it's physical? I'm bruising, just running through, and would you say?
I think
No,
you're the most dangerous pure back there is because your style.
Hold on. What do you mean pure? Why you got to?
Yeah, what is that?
What is that? What we?
Oh, you're the best running back in the NFL.
You said pure.
Yes, pure running back. Hand him the ball and see what he does. You're better than everybody else at doing that.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
We'll say, but I'm saying if you could say, like somebody said, how do you think Derek runs? What would you say?
hard.
Okay, we're moving on here.
So the thing that is what makes you the best running back is
No, I was saying like far not.
how would
like,
you? How would
That's
I
what I'm saying.
describe you?
What are like?
my
How
running
would I
style?
describe you
Yeah,
as a runner?
yeah.
I would describe you as an elusive, strong back because
Elusive?
Because how many times have you seen Derek do this and
He's got a big stride, so he needs.
Derek is unbelievable at coming at a person and going right here because he's so strong. Those people fall off, and he's fast enough where he has track speed, and his angle. And when people take angles on him, he just stiffs arm them. Like so, I don't think you're running into dudes with your head down like the bus did for the Steelers. I would say you're a big back where people are like, oh fuck, I gotta get low, and that's where you will take it one step to the right and not be centered anymore. That's you break that tackle, and then the minute they stand up and say, "Oh, I gotta take them high," that's where you have the awareness to lower your shoulder. So you're being elusive and understanding the guy trying to tackle you is your best asset.
So what running style is that?
I would say elusive is one of the best. Thank you.
Bravo.
How would you explain your running style?
I mean,
I know, but what is that? What is
was
that lumped into like a style?
He's a well-rounded back. He's the most well-rounded back in the NFL because a lot of guys are super quick, but if you get you put your hand around their hip, they're going down. But there's guys that are super strong, but they can't break the 60-yarder that Derek can. It's the smaller legs that he and I both have with the strong upper body to put people in the dirt, like poor Josh Norman, who was in the suite with my wife and kids. That stuff's brutal. That stuff's brutal.
Wow.
And I can't wait for Josh to come on the bus because I think you should be here too when he's there, just to sit in the back and just stare at him. But yeah, I think you're the best pure back in the NFL. And I say pure back is...
Can I ask you a question? Speaking of Josh Norman, people ask you about, like, did you know that was Josh Norman? Did you know where, like, soon, like, when it was happening, did you know that was him and you were going to do that? I was like, no, I was just reacting. We played him in 2018.
Yeah.
And when you walked over there and gave him the little,
Yeah.
why did you go over there?
I did that because of you.
What happened?
All right. And it was, we were in 4-minute drill against the Redskins and we ran a play to the
Washington
left.
football team.
Yes, excuse me. My God. The Washington football team. And you ran a play to the left, and Josh, as you were falling down, Josh grabbed your leg and tried to gator roll your leg. I got mad about that.
Case closed.
So the reason why I went over there was to tell him to get the fuck out of our stadium.
That wasn't the reason why I was asking you that, to try to get the explanation of that. People ask me why about the whole situation, the stiff arm situation. That was... Yeah,
That was your get back.
That possibly my get back, but I didn't forget that.
Right.
But you knew it was him when you saw him. Because what the play was, it was a gap scheme play, and you bounce it out to the left, and so you're running. You have enough time to see whose number that is. You have enough time to recognize who that is. So I firmly believe you knew exactly who the fuck that was. It was his first start, right? Because he went to the Redskins late or something like that, or he was injured during camp. It was his first start back.
The Bills.
The Bills. Josh is a talker. Josh has got a gigantic head, by the way, also. My God, the helmet size is unbelievable. But when you came around the corner, the time he came at you, if I can see a linebacker coming at me from 5 yards away, you can see a corner coming at you from 20 yards away. It needed to be addressed. So you knew it was him.
I was just playing, man. I was just reacting.
No, hey, I do not believe that at
I
all.
was just reacting.
You knew it was Josh. But I think The outcome would have been the same for whoever it was. It was just a little cherry on top because it was Josh.
I'll just react then.
It had to
He
be
wanted you to
addressed.
tell a story. And
It's
he's like,
just,
"I'll just
it's
react."
just
Well,
business,
'cause-
never personal.
But it was it did happen against the Washington football team that Josh did try to hurt Derek in the fourth quarter of that game. And that's the reason why I went over there after the game to do the arrow thing, because that was his jaunty little joyful whatever.
He
I
had,
wouldn't say.
he,
Let's not try
he
to
had
say.
a fun. He had a fun little.
Let's not try to say each other.
comeback.
Let's not try to.
Remember the next year?
No, what'd he say?
Remember he sent the cup?
He sent me a cup?
Yeah. So when you did that to him, Ryan,
Oh, that's right.
Ryan from Hang 10 sent him a Taylor Lewan is my dad shirt to Washington Park. He got it, and then after Taylor had tested for the PED thing, Josh went back through his like assistant or whatever and tried finding the address where the shirt came from, and was trying to figure out if it was Taylor's house or not. But he couldn't get all the answers because Ryan would call and tell me this, and he goes, "You'll never guess what he sent to my house." And he goes, "I opened it, and it was a piss cup."
For me to pee in.
Yeah, for him to be in.
That's a good
To
shirt.
Taylor.
That's
But-
funny.
I'm all about the petty. So I love-
Right,
I love
right.
it. I think it's a hilarious shirt, you know. But I would say that mostly you, but both of us live rent free in Josh's head by far. we have a conjoined penthouse suite at the top floor of his mind, and we live there for free.
I mean, I don't know. I'm there rent free. It was just like I said. It was this business, not personal.
It's just business.
It's not personal at all.
I love it.
The GOAT. We got to get it. We got to get to the
Yeah, we gotta talk
conversation.
about the
The
Super
argument
Bowl
we
for
had this
sure.
morning.
Mhm.
So we were working out, and Blossom game comes in.
You working at the facility?
Yeah,
Both y'all?
Yeah, before.
yeah. He came in today. He was getting some. What'd you do? Arms.
Yeah, there's some arms.
And he comes in looking for an argument. You just knew that this is what he wanted.
Yeah.
We gave him what he wanted, but he goes, "So y'all think Tom Brady?"
Is that how you started the conversation?
He goes, "Do y'all think Tom Brady's the greatest athlete of all time?" Is what he said at first. And I'm like, hang on now. You're saying athlete. We get to greatest career of an athlete of all time.
Yeah.
We say yes.
Yeah.
He immediately fires off other people. So he was throwing out bait, hook, line, and sinker, got all of us. To the point Derek's yelling. Derek's doing the one thing where you look at somebody and you won't look at the person.
Yeah.
And we're like laughing and kind of teaming
Yeah,
up on them type
yeah.
of thing. But he was saying like, who all was he naming? He was naming Michael Phelps,
Okay.
Serena Williams, Bill Russell. Who else? Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods, yep. But
Roger Federer.
one name he didn't say Michael Jordan.
He didn't say Michael Jordan.
We were like, huh?
He didn't really bring up LeBron James. I wish he was here to kind of defend
didn't bring up
himself
Kobe.
because
Well,
I'm sure
yeah, it's
I'm sure
my
he'd want to clarify
bring up
something.
Mama.
Our podcast is a blue check. Our opinion
Mama
matters more.
mentality every day. He didn't bring those guys up. He said tennis, swimming, golf, and basketball. Bill Russell.
He was making all these arguments basically against Tom. And I was like, yo, Phelps. I was like, you think that thing you do when you fall off a boat and instinct kicks in and you just start swimming? Like he's the one you're going with here?
That's a horrible argument, but yeah.
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 I was like, oh, swimmer, that thing you instinctively do when you fall out of a boat. And he's like, man, you can't. And I was, kind of doing the whole yelling thing, like not letting him talk, kind of with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
He got pretty intense.
Getting him worked up
intense.
even more. And then Derek will come over to me and kind of lean, put his hand on me.
Because
and like,
first
talk to me,
we
but
said
talk to him.
we said that Tom Brady we were talking about Tom Brady being the greatest athlete of all time. He was like, no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't give him the title of being the greatest athlete of all time. And then I started to thinking, no. I was like, okay, you might have a point there. But I said Tom Brady has had the greatest career by athlete of all time.
Yeah.
And then that's how it all went.
That's how it all started to jump.
That's what he brought
It's easy
Serena.
to just say he's the goat of all goats, and you can just move on from there. The Michael Phelps argument's easy because Michael Phelps, although is one of the greatest swimmers of all time,
Yes,
if you look
for
at
sure.
the
He's
range,
like the greatest Olympian of all time, too.
yeah. If you look at the range of his success, the time frame of his success, his time frame was this big. Tom Brady has had this much success for 21 years now.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
like the longevity always plays a factor. So he's out. All right, Serena Williams, all there. That's unbelievable. That's great. But I think when you take it to a team sport
That's
and you
what
have
my
other
point
factors
was.
around you, you got to take them out as well.
this what kind of made him like stand back a little bit. I was like, in Tom Brady's career, you can break down the longest his career been, you can break down like 3 segments of his career, and he would still make the Hall of Fame. They
all three.
Hall of Fame careers.
And when you were saying
like,
that too,
so-
are you talking about like 7 year, 8 years? Are you talking about like just different time frames? Like you can take 3 different time
If
frames
you
of his
took
career
his career,
and
like
he'll
the
still be a Hall
first
of Fame?
5 years of
Different
his career, or the first 7 years of his career, and then the second 7 years of his career, and then the third 7 years of his career,
You're saying they can all
all
be a Hall
3 of those
all 3 of them
are
can-
arguable Hall of Famers.
Hall of
Yeah.
Not first ballot, but they're going to make the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean,
You know what I'm
7.
saying?
Yeah. I feel that.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
it's like the Super Bowl is the hardest championship to win.
People would
And if
argue
we're-
baseball over that.
No,
would
there's
argue
7.
baseball
There's 7 games. You get series with these other
Right,
sports.
so you have to win 4 of them.
Yeah, but like every game is a game 7 in football.
That's
like
a
your
good point. Mm-hmm.
season to get into the playoffs. When you're in the playoffs, it's survive and advance.
Yeah.
And it's like if he's the GOAT of football and the Super Bowl is the hardest championship to get, how is he not? He's done it 7 times
been 10.
on 2 different teams. And I was telling KB, I was like, and KB, you know as well as I do, playing
Blase
that
game.
Blasen game, that the team changes every year. Like even though you're you're playing for the same logo and stuff, like your locker room is different every year.
Mhm.
And he's leading the ultimate team sport to 7 titles. He's been to 10. But on 2 different teams, everybody had the argument of Bill Belichick, is he a system QB, like they need each other. He left and in the first year took Tampa Bay to a Super Bowl, and they weren't even the best team all year. Like the Saints were better than
I
them.
seen some where he has his 7 Super Bowls are more than like I don't know how many franchises.
No, it's all the franchises.
Every franchise.
Every franchise.
No franchise has-
the most Super Bowl wins is the Patriots and the Steelers at 6. Tom Brady has 7. It's
Wow.
stupid. It's not
It's
even close.
insane.
It's not even close, and he's running it back. And it wasn't even like, hey, what do you think? Well, I'll talk with my family. We'll see after the season. It was like, yeah, we're gonna come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not even an argument.
It's
The guy
crazy.
is unbelievable. And he went Tampa Bay. If you look at Tom Brady, his win percentage at the Patriots was the best in his career. That same amount of time, Tampa Bay had the worst win percentage of all the teams in the NFL. I saw that on the internet. I haven't fact checked myself, but I saw that. And he goes to this team. It should average out around 8-8, right? Or were
Right.
they, 9-7? That was their record this year. They were like good, not great, above average in the regular
11-6,
season.
I think.
Yeah.
11
and 5.
Were they 11-5? Oh, then
11
They were
11-5.
11-5 or 10-6, but they
11-5,
weren't.
They
Saints
weren't.
Saints won the division and beat them both times.
big time,
We ended up 11-6.
Yeah, 11-5.
11-5.
which is our best record in a long time. With the Bucks, what does it say?
They were 11-5, but
Okay.
they weren't even. They didn't even win their division. They weren't even the best
didn't win
team
the
yet.
division. In the yeah, in that one division, and they went and won it.
And
I
he's
mean-
43 years old
And he took out Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes.
to win that title. Like, yeah,
It's crazy. He's the goat of all goats, and that it goes for every like he's the greatest goat of all the goats. When you start to stockpile your goat machines in all these different sports teams, you look at all of them, and the number one goat out of all of them in the pyramid is Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's at the top.
It's not even close.
I did see.
It's not even an argument. It was.
So,
it
I
should
saw
have been an
something
argument before
interesting.
this year.
I saw an interesting argument for Wayne Gretzky,
You're talking about the great one.
and I have no clue about hockey. That's why I was like fascinating because it's
He's
like
unbelievable.
it talked about how many 200. There's only been like 200 goals scored in a hockey season 4 times, and Wayne Gretzky's all 4 of them. Like 20 years of just pure dominance.
Yeah.
I never really watched Wayne Gretzky. I didn't know anything about
He's
hockey, but
unbelievable.
when I was reading this because they had Wayne Gretzky as number 1, this was like a couple years ago when Tom was still on the Patriots though, so what they weren't factoring in Tom now. But Wayne Gretzky's resume, I was like, oh shit, like he's the fucking man.
Yeah.
They took some guy who was playing 26 years in the league. Wayne Gretzky was 20, and they said this dude who was 26 years in the league would have to play until the age of 60 just to catch all Wayne Gretzky stats in 20 years.
Isn't that wild?
So
Yeah,
I got a question. I know I said 11-6, which I was wrong, but I was saying we're 11-6 because we're 11-5 and we lost to the Reds in the playoffs. That would have been our record. But that year when the Patriots were going to go undefeated, if they would have won that game, would they have counted all those games like the Dolphins, like when they were saying like the best team ever? Like, do they? Is that
Was the 72 Dolphins that won undefeated?
do they count the playoff? I mean, like
I
are
don't
they-
think you count playoff games. I think
They were
you
just
go,
saying that if they would have counted, that would have been their record, and they
I
went
don't
all
know
the way
how that
through.
works. I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. 'cause
What
I
was
like,
their-
Usually, when you talk about
if you don't
playoffs-
count the playoff, because you don't count the playoff game, so like
Right.
so like
They were about to be the greatest team of all time when they went 19-1 or something like that, or 18-1.
They lost to Eli Manning and the Giants, right? It was
Yeah.
like 2007.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't count
Vrabel
the playoff,
lost.
if you don't count the playoff,
What's that?
They won more games than the 72 Dolphins, but the Dolphins went the full season undefeated, including the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's their argument.
What was their total record?
I think it was like 17-0.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Back then, they didn't play as many games
Right.
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 as they do now.
Which is-
Vrabel lost Super Bowl, by the way.
well, Vrabel will be better.
It was when they went 18-1, lost to the Giants.
Really.
Vrabel was in that.
I remember watching that. I was a junior in high school. I remember watching that game. It was
I was
awesome.
so
Anthony
hyped.
Stevens' house.
watching the
great football.
so
game.
watching the Patriots.
basically-
Yes, watching the
so
Patriots. lose.
basically, we don't count the playoff wins unless you go undefeated. Basically,
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. It's kind of like an asterisk, isn't it? Because then our record from the 9-7 season we had the year before would have been 12-8. No,
oh,
12-7, 12-11.
What are we trying to
11
figure
and
out?
11 and 8.
Well, I'm saying because you don't count playoff wins. Like when you look at people, like the people's seasons, like 9-7, 11-5, whatever.
Oh,
16
okay,
games.
yeah.
We played that year, whatever. I don't know. I can't do math, but it'd been 20 games. So we played 19 games,
Yeah.
but we don't put the record in that. And he's saying if the Patriots would have won that game, are they 20-0? You know what I'm saying? Does that make them the greatest team of all time?
I think
You know?
I think the argument would have been there since they went 17-0 and won everything.
It was like undefeated season.
I have a question. If you are 15-0, all right, because next year they're adding another game, isn't there? Like next year is a
Yes,
17
yeah.
game season. Yeah,
17
that's
game.
ridiculous. Oh, you're for sure going to beat the record. If you're 16-0 and you have everything tied up, you have the number 1 seed, and you have the opportunity to sit guys. Should you sit guys or should you go for the like undefeated 17-0?
question. But my
We're not head coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Vrabel will sit there and
Yeah.
oh, Derek, you think we should sit you, huh? You sit guys. You get ready to go win this. It's not about going undefeated in the regular season. It's about winning a Super Bowl.
Right. For sure.
Is the easiest answer to put.
Yeah.
Because what if you go put you in, or no, I'm not going to use you. What if you go
Yeah.
put somebody else in and they get hurt
But no,
You know
you're
what I'm
right though.
saying?
You're right though. You sit them. I mean,
You got
either
to.
way, either way it goes. I mean,
and hope to God you win the game and that's a cherry on top.
Exactly.
Either way, you're going to overthink about it. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? Because
it's-
even if you sit, you're like, man, I hope they don't come out rusty in the playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Especially
Yeah.
if you have a bye week 1, then you're 2 weeks off.
Because
2
either
weeks
way it
off.
goes, if you play that game and then you don't win, then it's like, and then if we don't play, even if you end up losing, you get the Super Bowl. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all- getting the Super Bowl. That's the
That's the only thing that
important
matters.
thing, yeah.
That's the only thing that
Important-
matters during the
most important
season.
thing.
It's like once you make the playoffs, it's like just shut it down.
Yeah.
Road less traveled.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like thinking about it. Like, yeah,
Wow.
for sure.
Like thinking about it, if we win that Green Bay game, I possibly don't play against Houston.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Then
And
you would have got
then you
2K.
You don't get 2000. Would you have wanted to play that game?
If
Let's say
we
you-
beat
you
Green
play-
Bay and
you play Green
clinch.
Bay, let's say you get 100 because you got 48 that game, right? You get 100.
48, what you said again?
You got 48 rushing yards that game. It
Yes,
was
sir.
it was a lower
Green Bay.
98.
90. Okay, well it wasn't that low, right? So let's say you get 150. Let's say you get 150 in that game. So that would take you to you needed 223, whatever the math ends up. It's 170, whatever it is. You need 170 to get the record, and you're playing against Houston. And Vrabel comes up to you and says, "I want to sit you. What do you want to do?"
I mean, I sit. This is like, it's 170.
It's not like it's 50 yards away.
Yeah, if it's like 50 yards away, then yeah, but 170 is like, I mean, I'm gonna sit to feel good going in the playoffs. I mean, like, we trying to get a ring. I would sit. Would I want to play the competitor in me and want to go out there
Yeah.
and play? Yeah, but I mean, that's the same thing last year. I wanted to play against the Saints, but what was smart, me sitting and look, got us to the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
That
that
would
was
help
awesome.
the team get to the AFC Championship.
People
But,
argue about it all the time. Fans are always like, "Well, why don't you play?" Like it's totally different. It's like whatever Brett Favre was talking about a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, whatever it was. You see the Brett Favre thing?
No.
Brett Favre was talking about Deshaun Watson, I
I
think,
saw that.
how he's a little old school and he would never hold. Said something, and I saw a bunch of people on Twitter get upset about it. I think Brett Favre's a stud, but it's like so much about the game has changed. Us sitting on this bus is a perfect example of that. Players are actual brands now. And it's you can be an old school guy, and I know 10 old school guys right now that I could probably listen to this and go, it's fucking bullshit. You should just be a football player and that's it. But you know, I'm not going to read that. Will, go ahead.
As I'm kind of old school. I think you play, you get paid a ton of money to do a certain job and just do it and let the chips fall where they may. I think we make too much money to voice an opinion, but I'm not saying he's wrong. Again, I think it's a different day and time, and it will be interesting to see how the organization handles it. Yeah, I mean, I just disagree with that. To make too much money to voice an opinion, like that is the big reason why we have this bus. Is like you get sick of athletes and stuff being boxed into something and having basically a cattle call to where we are uniformed our entire career with the team. And the only thing that differentiates you is your number. And then when that team's done needing you and using you, they're not going to make sure you transition to the next thing.
Yeah.
So guys are like taking it upon themselves a little more now. We know we have more of a voice, and guys are branding a little differently because they're trying to build a resume to transition after the game is over. Like guys who sit there and say, hey, stick to playing football. Those same guys went to college and built resumes because you're taught to be well-rounded and have a lot of different skills. So they're going out into the real world, being good at their craft, but also working on side hustles and doing other things. But we have to say box in and be athletes, right? But why can't we build our resume, our brand, our influence, or whatever we have, because we have this short window where we get a head start, and you want to build that to help you transition? Because when we are done, everybody's not going to hold our hand to make sure we get some job.
No.
Like you got to start working on yourself while the iron is hot. Like that's why you want to put different irons in the fire. So I do think it's a different day. I mean, I definitely disagree with that, but there's like a select elite amount of guys who get to marketing gigs, who are going to get to transition into the broadcasting booth. Like there's a 1% of our 1% already. Like those guys are going to get the big deals. I know like you yourself, like you get Old Spice and stuff like that. Obviously you do stuff with fashion, you brand, you do all those things too. Like there's a very small 1% of guys who get those types of gigs. Everybody else, like you don't know when your time's going to end. You don't know when it's going to be over.
You get your salary and that's it. And then you have to put those in stocks and hopefully diversify your portfolio.
Right.
Enough so that if, something like, recession happens again, you don't get caught up in too much real estate or too much this, too much that, and the dips and ebbs and flows of the market. And you're there. And everyone's like, well, shut up and play football because you get paid, so much money.
Right.
And it's like, if I make $16 million in my career and someone makes, $500,000 a year, well, eventually they're going to surpass me, right? At 32 years, they're going to be right there making the same amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
You have such a short time to do what you can in your prime. Like eventually, you're not going to be able to play football anymore. Eventually, I'm not going to be able to play. Eventually, you're not. It's just the reality, and it's like, to start thinking about your future late, like when you're almost done, is something you shouldn't do anymore. There's so much, especially in the social media world. There's so many things to do.
It's a new age. It's a new school of thinking. But all people talk about is like, what gets the most eyes and traffic and clicks and influence and stuff. And we have a head start in that. So why don't you learn how to start trying to figure out to be more of a well-rounded athlete? Obviously, the number one priority is football, but it's like you're going to go. You said this before, Alex. Are you going to go an hour or two to do a podcast, or what? You want us to go home an hour or two to take a nap? You know what I'm saying?
Like some dudes go and play video games. They may not stream it. Some dudes who stream it, they can make money doing that. Instead of me playing video games for an hour, I'm sitting here with you guys talking for an hour. There's zero difference other than I'm just making the smarter move than you.
Just like you said, eventually one day we're not going to be able to play football no more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so that's why, you got to take advantage of what you have right now while you got it.
Absolutely.
That should always be the mindset because it's a business. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we all have our own brand. At the end of the day, football, it's not going to be for forever, but while it's here, take advantage of everything it offers while you playing.
So then when your trajectory is going from this, like college, I committed somewhere, okay, I play in the league, a few years in the league, and then when you're done playing, relevance, not that I'm saying the relevance matters, but I'm talking about the moment you have to take advantage and shake the most hands you can into your jokes are funnier, you're better looking when you're playing, you're all this stuff.
Exactly.
Before it falls off, you want to build this brand so that way it can help transition you. Like, who knows how many fashion things you might get to be involved in. Like, you just don't know.
Facts.
And, I think it's going to look way different even 10 years from now. I think it's transitional right now, and guys just don't. It's like jumping through some mental hurdles because it's like
sort of put yourself out there too much.
It's kind of
put yourself out there. It leaves more for people to judge.
For sure.
Like if I go out here and during the fall I come and do an hour of this podcast, we lose one game, it's gonna be like, well, Taylor doesn't give a fuck about the team.
Right.
When you know
Exactly.
damn well I care probably more than most guys.
Right.
And it's like,
When you don't have control of that like image,
That's
you're like,
just- and
you
that's
don't want
just-
your coaches to think you're kind of bullshit. And you don't want your teammates to think, oh, he's caring about that. Or like, guys deal with some mental hurdles a little
And
bit.
that's just
It
the
is a
world,
transition
that's just where
point.
we live in now.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
But who
just
knows what's
because
gonna
the
look like
world
in
you
10
live
years.
doesn't mean it's the world you can't change.
Yeah, you can't change.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But,
You know?
but I'm saying for you using that example, we lose a game and you on the podcast. That's just how the
People are
world
gonna
is.
be pissed.
Yeah,
People are gonna be
exactly.
like, oh,
So-
you should be focused on this. It's like, shit, I'm focused. You know,
And just like now,
you
we
can
do
only
this.
work out-
We do this, and imagine how much people gonna take from this and try to this and that and let's take it.
Right. Take it out of context or
Splice
take it any
change
direction
the
they want.
article.
Yeah.
That happens. But you know what? All that means is you're just clicking more and busting with the boys, and guess
Right.
what? We fucking worked against you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, whatever athletes do listen, hopefully they listen to this part because it's like you got to take advantage, man. You do because the game uses you gotta learn to make the sport work for you, not just work for the sport the whole time.
Yeah.
It's ironic too because Brett Favre's the perfect example of not doing that. Like, what's Brett doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a platform.
I think he's got a
Well, I mean,
podcast.
he's got the Wrangler stuff. He's got the
Oh, is he
the
still
cotton
Wrangler?
the
This
cotton
copper
sleeve,
fit.
the copper fit.
But he's doing all that stuff now. If he was playing this age with his talent, he'd be on every damn progressive commercial, losing his keys just like Baker Mayfield does. You know?
Yeah.
having to go back into the damn security line.
Right.
But really, if you think about it, everybody's opinion on the Deshaun situation is really just people outside looking in. Like nobody knows.
Yeah, no one knows
what's
how
going
all
on.
this stuff
So it's
actually goes
like
down.
it's gonna be different opinions. People gonna say different things. Everybody's gonna agree. Everybody's gonna disagree. So I mean, really, just everybody's outside looking in because nobody knows what's going on.
Right. And no one's really
it's
ever
about-
seen a situation like that. And no one knows how to, judge it or do anything else other than say, just focus on football. Why is he doing this? Like Brett would retire and then come out of retirement. Like he would hold teams
Pretty sure he did that
hostage a
4
little
times.
bit. You know what I mean? Like he would be like, okay, I don't know if I'm going to play next year. Aaron Rodgers, like, what's the drama in Green Bay? And then he comes out of retirement. Then he goes into retirement. Then he goes to the Vikings. Like, he did his stuff too.
And it's nothing against him either, because I think when you play in that old school football 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you grow up in that, you think of all the guys you played with and how they would view it. You don't think so much about how you view the situation, because I think if Brett really took a look in the mirror, he'd kind of realize, well, I'm doing Copper Fit, I'm doing Wrangler, I'm doing all these things. Like,
Right.
it's no different if I was still slinging the pigskin. And I think that's just, it's the reason why people don't jump off the cliff to try to fly themselves is because they're more worried about what other people think and not worried about what they truly want in life.
Amen to
And
that.
I think that's one thing that if Brett really was sitting here on the couch right now, he'd probably think of it differently, because all the things he does do and all the opportunities there are, and likeness and brand, and you have over 1 million followers on Instagram. You have over 1 million followers on Instagram. You can make so much money. You can make so much influence. You can do so much, not only for your bank account, but for the world.
Shout out Georgia Boot, no free shout outs. America's hardest working boot. They are now making boots as tough as you. Wildly comfortable at an extremely affordable price. These boys hold up in any condition. As you can see, the boys got snow on them. They were out in Texas hunting, outdoors, indoors, working out, whatever you want to do. These boots can do it all. Whether you want work boots, wedges, loggers, whatever you need, waterproof boot, steel toe, soft toe, square toe, Met Guard, non-puncture shank, non-slip sole, they've got it all. You can dance in the snow on them. You can run around in the snow on them. You can do anything in the snow on them. Go to georgiaboot.com and use code BUSSIN for 20% off. That's georgiaboot.com. Use code BUSSIN for 20% off. Back to the boys.
Absolutely.
And there should be nothing wrong with that. But guys are worried about that. I mean, I'm worried about it during the season. I'm worried about, what if I post too much about this, or should I even do any busting with the boy stuff? Should I even,
Mhm.
and then it plays with your head. And then what happens? You're actually less focused on the game. You become less focused on the football game because you're like, what should and shouldn't do? When if you just did whatever and let the ebbs and
Prioritize
flows,
it and
but
just-
it's difficult. And that's
For
why
sure.
I don't do it during the season. It's a difficult thing to navigate, and these new waters that no one is really doing right now.
Right. Because we are the first.
We are the first podcast by active athletes ever, and
Man,
I don't know about active athletes, active NFL
Ever.
players. He said active athletes ever.
athletes ever in the history. But I do think I do hope Deshaun leaves, because
Yeah.
be better for the AFC South.
Yeah,
But
yeah, right.
I think whatever. I mean, Deshaun wants to win football games. He's got the great contract, and that's all. And I think I'm not a football player. I'm not a quarterback. I'm a football player. I'm not a quarterback.
You said I'm.
No, I'm
He
not a
almost said
quarterback.
I'm
I meant to say I'm not a quarterback. I'm not a quarterback, but if you're the staple of foundation of that franchise and they're doing things, I guarantee Aaron Rodgers was in on a bunch of stuff. Maybe not this past draft, but he was in on a bunch of shit before. Peyton Manning was a part of everything. Tom Brady's a part of everything. I mean,
You talking about the brand stuff?
no, I'm talking
doing
about.
stuff off the field?
I'm transitioning to Deshaun, talking about whether he
decision making really.
if he wants to leave, if why
I
he wants to
gotcha.
leave
I
because he
gotcha.
got pissed
Yeah,
off
yeah,
by the
yeah.
owner or the GM and all this, and I think it's a crazy little deal, but I don't fault him for it. He just wants to go win games,
Yeah.
and he wants his hand in who's coming, who's going. I think, but I don't know the kid like that. I just know he's an unbelievable football player.
Great discussion, boys. Great.
Yeah.
Great dialogue.
Wendy's burgers
Oh,
versus the rest of the world.
Please, let's
we
let's
talk
have
about
this
this?
discussion.
I know you wanted to have this discussion because when I did the tweet in the video, you're like,
I never really said Wendy's was the best burger in the world. I said from the places that we were arguing about, everybody was bringing different arguments as far as the best restaurant that had burgers. I was saying Wendy's was better than theirs. I never said Wendy's was the best. I was saying, yeah, Wendy's is better than the ones that other people were asking.
you
or
didn't say
saying
Wendy's was the best fast food burger?
that. No, I did not
what's
say
the
that. I
best fast
said
food burger?
it's too hard to choose. I was saying that.
Oh, now he doesn't want to.
I was
he doesn't
saying
have an
because
opinion
look,
now.
I might have fabricated a little bit
okay.
for the drama, for the dramatic
you
effect.
did a little
It's the
bit,
first
but
time I've heard
I'll let
this.
you. I'll let you have it. They were just saying like somebody came up with who they thought was the best, and I was like, no, it's something else better than that. Then there was this and that. I might have said Wendy's more than I said other places, but I didn't say Wendy's isn't the best.
Yeah,
You were saying you did say Wendy's was better than In-N-Out.
Not
You
true.
said Wendy's.
Yes.
You said Wendy's was better than Whataburger, like the ones that are being
I did not
argued
say
about.
Wendy's better. I did not. I didn't say
And
that. I know I
Five
didn't say
So you
Guys.
like
that.
Whataburger better than In-N-Out?
Say it again.
You like Whataburger better than In-N-Out?
For sure.
And Five Guys. You said Wendy's was better than Five Guys,
Yes, I did say that.
but that's. Do you want to? You want to?
You want to elaborate on that?
You want to think about it?
Probably best you do.
I mean, I wouldn't say now. I wouldn't say it's better, but I mean
Tread.
they're both pretty good. I mean,
Well, what's they're both? Wait, what do you mean?
they're both pretty good. I
What's
mean,
they?
Five Guys is good. They have good burgers, good fries. Wendy's has good burgers and good fries.
Uh-huh.
Which burger are you picking, Wendy's or Five Guys? I honestly, I wanted to like have a couple of the burgers so we could just do this.
And we should have did that. We should have done that. We should have done
I
that.
can't get In-N-Out because it's the best one.
No, it's not.
It is by far the best one.
No, it's not.
It's the freshest, most delicious, made with love. You can tell. And they were the
You
fun
don't know
house.
for fact though that it's the freshest, because a lot of these burger spots are doing
I'm
the
pretty sure you have to do
unfrozen.
within
Well, have you had Whataburger?
Yeah, I had it actually in Texas recently.
within 20 miles.
And
oops.
what do you? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Within 20 miles of the franchise,
He said,
In-N-Out.
oops.
Within 20 miles of the In-N-Out franchise, you have to be able to get all your stuff, your tomatoes, your veggies, all your ingredients has to be within 20 miles of that In-N-Out franchise. That's why they don't expand. So what other place is doing that? So it is the freshest.
I was
20
just
miles away.
I was just
It's a
wondering
small drive. I don't have to refrigerate.
what you were
that.
gonna ask.
So you're saying there is no burger better than In-N-Out?
I would say
He's basically saying nothing
plain
compares.
cheeseburger. Yeah, I would say In-N-Out's probably the best. The bun's delicious.
You're saying plain cheeseburger, no sauce, no nothing.
no? Obviously, the way they make the plain cheeseburger. Goddamn, Will. Like,
I'm just
would
I'm
do-
making it clear for our
I
viewer,
would do
like our viewers
Baconator
not
Junior or the Baconator is like the Wendy's one would probably go with,
right. When I try burger, I don't put bacon on it. Like I want like the cheese, the lettuce, the tomato, and then the condiments that come on it.
yeah, but what are the condiments? Because at Five Guys you can get 65 condiments.
Have
I
you
usually
had?
do, I usually do
have you
like
had
ketchup
Whataburger,
and mustard.
Taylor?
I've had Whataburger. I was unimpressed. I actually had a
Dude,
an
Whataburger's
Instagram
fire.
post about it. You
Whataburger's
didn't like
fire.
it.
What
It's
are
all
you
right.
exactly? Yeah, give me some.
Whataburger Dace,
Dude, Whataburger's good.
but it ain't.
Whataburger is fire.
I was fresh out of surgery, literally like 15 minutes out of surgery. Still,
Whataburger's
hot.
like a nice,
didn't-
like
he didn't
you
have-
pick it up and it's
he
like
didn't
a
have Whataburger.
heavy,
He-
nice burger.
That's
he only
good.
had like one. He don't remember Whataburger.
He did have it right after surgery. Drugs could have played into that.
No.
Average at best.
Dude, Whataburger
Stop.
is good.
Stop.
Is
Stop
it better than In-N-Out
disrespecting.
burger?
Say it again.
When's the last
I
time you
would
had
Is it
pick-
better
I
than
would
In-N-Out
pick-
burger?
Yeah.
Yes.
In
When's
and
the last
out
time you had In-N-Out?
when I was in Oakland.
Oh yeah, then you know.
Yeah, I think Whataburger's better than
Thank you,
In-N-Out.
Okay,
Will.
real quick.
I
There
do.
we go.
I do.
Will just
We
had
finally agree on something.
Hey.
Thank you.
Will just had a hunting trip in Texas. He's Mr. Country Guy now, so he's still feeling.
What is
the
that? What kind of
effects.
shot is that?
You go somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm a part of this. I'm a local, and you feel the Whataburger. And you're like, I'm a Texan also. That's what you did.
Taylor,
That's
no,
fine.
it's
Taylor,
not.
Taylor, I will go to say Shake Shack is better than In-N-Out.
Derek. I can't
Shake
get-
Shack is fire.
Oops.
Fire.
Fire. Sorry, he said something. I thought I got a little watery in
I
here.
can't get mad at you.
Shake Shack or In-N-Out? You tell me. Shake Shack or In-N-Out?
I think Shake Shack.
Look at there. There we go. Let's get a clap. That deserves a clap.
Nobody else in here is laughing. Nobody else laughing. I will say this. I can't get mad at you, Derek, that your palate is that of a 6-year-old. Okay? I can't get mad at you about that. I'm sorry you don't understand freshness and the way In-N-Out handles their cheeseburgers. Will, I know you're kind of a ebbs and flow, go with what everybody else is doing things. So I also don't blame you for you.
I don't know what
jumping on-
insecurities you have when you're like,
My
oh,
insecurities?
what's Will doing there? Oh, what's he doing there? Oh, he thinks he's a tough guy now because
Yeah.
he hunts.
Yeah.
You just
Oh.
make your own
I'm
assumptions.
gonna say
when
this
you
and
look
end
at
with
me.
this.
Go ahead, Derek.
Shake Shack and Whataburger absolutely deserves big hugs and tiny kisses. Thank you.
I've never had Shake Shack.
Five Guys is better than all of those.
Okay, we're off of Will. All right, we're done.
I do think Five Guys is the
We're
best.
done.
The
We're done.
junior cheeseburger, I swear
We're
to God,
done.
I swear to God, I
We're
swear to
done.
God, dude.
We're done.
Kind of
I promise, man.
Kind of insecurities you have to have a junior cheeseburger.
Well, we were going on that day, and I didn't want to have the big one because I knew I was going to eat a couple more burgers. So I was like, all right, let me get the junior. And I was like, it's not as sloppy because those big ones, like you Five Guys, they get a little sloppy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
that junior cheeseburger, it was nice. It was enough. It was nice. But Wendy's was never really I did try Wendy's. I tried it with an open heart and open mind. Like
You did.
I did. I just didn't. I didn't know. I didn't see what you saw.
And you gave me a recommendation on a place that I went in with an open mind and an open heart.
That's bullshit, dude. You didn't.
And-
You didn't say.
And boy,
Where'd you go?
I'm not gonna do that.
No,
But-
we'll bleep it out. I just want to
No,
know for
no.
our own lives.
No, for real, will y'all bleep it out? Please don't put it. Oh my lord.
What-
Fire.
What's Oh my god.
What's
Tell me,
Gourmet,
oh my,
Mocha
it's
Gourmet
so
Burger.
good.
It's down in. It's by Fido's.
And I do like Fido's. Fido's hits.
Oh my
Fido's
god, it
hits.
was trash.
And this all right, listen. This podcast is over.
Podcast is over.
This podcast is
We got to
done.
bring it to
Thank
an
you
end.
guys thank
Oh.
you guys for having me. I appreciate
Hey.
it. Love it for the boys. The boys. Always for the boys.
Thank you very much, dear, for coming on the podcast.
Oh yeah.